talking different now. I'm talking different now. Let's go. Your time is running out. I'm talking different now. I'm talking different now. It's not about what you've done, it's about what you're doing. It's all about where you're going, no matter what you do. Here we go! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm letting the energy on the count of three. We're gonna jump. Are we ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go, 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 go. Hey! Let's go, 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 go. Hey! Oh, let's go. Hey, it's now or never. Oh, let's go. Tomorrow's good, tonight is better. Let's go. There is no better time. I'm talking here and now. I'm talking here and now. Let's go. Right now is when you shine. I'm talking here and now. I'm talking here and now. Hey! Hey! It's all about where you're going, no matter where you've been. Hey, hey, let's go. All the people on this side. All the party people on this side. All my party people on this side. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Hey. Let's go, 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 go. Hey. Let's go. Hey, it's now or never. Oh, let's go. Tomorrow's good, tonight is better. Let's make it happen. Bring it down. Ooh, let's make it happen tonight. Let's make it happen. Hey! Oh, let's make it happen tonight. Here we go. Hey!
我有個朋友咧 send 個 message 嚟話佢入唔到嗰個 Zoom 喎 ，as no meeting room number 喎。我哋有冇 meeting room number 㗎？
個 webinar ID 咯。
但係而家有幾多個 attendee 入咗嚟啊？
Good evening. Hello, good evening. Welcome. Welcome everyone. Just waiting a little bit more to have everyone coming in. Thank you for joining us tonight. I think we will let the people coming in one by one, but since it's already late, I don't want to keep people too long. Okay, shall we start? Hi Sim, how are you? Good to see some familiar name here. And new people for me. Hi, Venus. Hi, Robbie. Okay, I think we should start. Yeah, okay. Welcome everyone to our first Wisdom Vault Virtual Summit. It's organized by members of the Hong Kong Tony Robbins Group. And we intend to really make this a regular event where members of the Hong Kong Tony Robbins Group here can share their expertise and services to help each other out, and actually anyone interested in improving their lives. So don't hesitate to bring your friends and colleagues, and we will welcome them. A few things before we start. For those who are not familiar with Zoom, you have at the bottom of your screen different icons. You have one that is a chat, so if you want to send us a message on the chat room or make some comments, don't hesitate. You also have a Q&A panel, which will be used when you want to ask a specific question to a speaker. And you also have a reaction button. And I would love that everybody use this button right now to really give a big hand to Kevin, who organized this event and who really put all his heart in allowing us to be all together tonight. So please join me and give a big hand to Kevin. Awesome. Awesome. I believe that a lot of us have been affected by the current situation. It can be the coronavirus, the protest before, and the coming economic downturn. And we might be confused. We might feel a little bit lag behind on our goals or lost. And I think it's totally normal. So in the next 2 hours, our speakers are going to share some valuable experience and secrets. You'll discover 4 different ways and techniques you could implement in your life to improve it. So our first speaker tonight is Justin Ho. He's a professional Forex trader. He has worked in many well-known investment banks, and he has generated over a 7-figure of capital returns using his proprietary strategy without spending more than 15 minutes a day. So he will share with us how he has done it and how we can do it as well. So please welcome Justin.
Hi everyone, how are you? Hope everyone is having a good day. Sorry, just let me get set up. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Share screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen now? Yes? All right, so good evening, everyone. My name is Justin. I'm so glad that all of you are here today. I know that it's Sunday night and you've all probably had a long day. So thank you for taking the time to come and join us. And I want to congratulate all of you for making a great decision to take action and move your life to the next level. So time is short. I only have 30 minutes, but I'll do everything in my power to make this 30 minutes well worth your time. Now, before we begin, how many of you would like to have a lot more income in your lives? If you want a lot more income, type income into the chat. Yes, sim, income. Yep, awesome, great. And how many of you would actually like more time to spend that income that you make? If you want more time to spend the income, type time. Yep. From Bernice, time, Elaine, Sim, Kevin, Kyle. All right, awesome, great, thanks. So today, I'm gonna talk about how Forex helped me build over 7 figures in capital without spending more than 15 minutes a day. Now, before I begin, I think it's the first time I'm meeting all of you here. So I'd like to share a little bit about myself and how my journey came along. Would that be okay? Now, okay. So what many people don't know is that when I was brought up, it was from a very traditional upbringing. So as you all know, kind of Asian families, I was taught to work hard, study hard, get good grades, get a stable job, and work my way up the corporate ladder. And hopefully, by retirement, I would have saved enough money in my nest egg to last through retirement. And I'm sure many of you would have experienced the same, right? Yeah, so exactly. It was really by pure coincidence that many years ago, I think coming up to 7.5 years ago now, I remember very clearly that day. I have a friend called Brian, and we just finished lunch, and we were walking down the slope in Central. And he told me, hey, Justin, look at this. I've been using this app and I've been making millions and millions of dollars on this app. So I was like, what? Really? What is this app about? And he was like, oh, it's a Forex app. We trade Forex, and you can just make money using your phone. So I was like, wow, interesting. Can you tell me more and show me how you do it? So on the same day I downloaded that app, and then tried to do it myself. Obviously, a few days later I found out he was trading a demo account, so he was making millions and millions of demo money, not real money. But anyway, it got me interested enough that I actually wanted to try it out myself. So I actually opened a demo account as well, and I kind of knew a little bit about economics and all that, so I kind of started trading, and obviously I also managed to make millions and millions of dollars as well on my demo account. But so that gave me a lot of confidence, and I decided at that time that, okay, maybe this actually really works, right? And let me try and put some real money in and see what I can do with it. So I put some money in, and guess what happens when you put real money into an account, but you have no idea what you're doing when you're trading? Guess what happens? Anyone? Lose money. Exactly, you lose a lot of money. Why? Because you have no idea what you're doing. You're basically gambling in the market, and you're not following any strategies. You're not doing any risk management, right? So actually at that point, I lost quite a lot of money. And I reached a really important decision point in my life. And that decision was, there was two options at that point, right? One option was, okay, do I give up now and say, oh, actually this doesn't really work, and it's just a scam. People can make millions on a demo account, but when you trade real money, it doesn't work? Or do I go and figure out, okay, so this actually starts to work. How can I make it work? What do I need to learn? What steps do I need to make in order to make this work? So at that point in time, I chose the second option, and I'm very grateful for that. I chose to say yes, and I didn't give up. I started to read a lot of books, take courses, and all in all, I think I spent over $400,000 to learn and develop this skill. But eventually, I managed to formulate a really powerful trading strategy that has helped me to consistently make money up to this day. And fast forward to now, I am a professional investor, trader, and now I'm a Forex investment coach as well. I did a bit of education at the London School of Economics. I got a business economics degree with first class honors, and I also went on to do masters in finance and economics. After graduating, I actually went on to do this certified chartered financial analyst CFA designation, which is kind of like the professional qualification for investment analyst. So similar to what a CPA is for accountants. I spent a few years working in investment banks, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, DBS Bank, and most recently I was also a investment analyst at a US listed asset management firm So the firm actually manages around $1 trillion in assets under management. Obviously, I am not managing all of that money, but I do help to provide input on that. So what I want to point out is that while my jobs were investment related, which I really enjoy, like many of you, I always questioned whether there was actually more to life than just a 9-to-5 job and retiring at the very young age of 65, right? I also wanted to build my own dreams and instead of being hired to build my boss's dreams. So many years ago, just out of pure coincidence, another friend of mine called Marco, yes, I have a lot of friends, he sent me a YouTube video, and it was an 8-minute video summary of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And after I watched that video, it really clicked a lot of light bulbs in my head, and it was really the answer that I was looking for. So at the same day, I bought the book, I read it, and then I quickly started on my quest to look for the best investment strategies, different sources of income, and how to enhance my knowledge to make it possible. So fast forward to now, I have 7 years of professional experience with Forex trading. I've helped to manage a multi-million-dollar investment fund using a strategy that has produced high returns on a very consistent basis. And over the past 5 years, we actually managed to make 350% returns. And not only that, but we were also consistently profitable every single year. So people can make, hundred thousands of percent in 1 year and then lose it all in the second year, right? But here we're making this return, very steadily on a consistent basis over the past period. So I was very grateful for this experience and opportunity. And after attending many events, I also wanted to give back and share my knowledge so that other people can also take advantage of this skill that seemingly not a lot of people know about. And so 2 years ago, I started to train other people on how to actually trade Forex the professional and the correct way. So up to now, I've trained more than 300 students globally to become successful and profitable traders. And a lot of them actually have no prior experience at all. So, and they range from a lot of different types of people, from people who are actually just students, so people who are still in college, to working professionals. I've had dentists, architects, business analysts, MBA students as well, and all the way up to retirees, people in their later ages, 65 and above, who had no experience at all, still managed to go through the progress. And I'm not saying after listening to me for like half an hour, you're going to be really successful in trading, but after a few months and up to a year, people actually become quite successful and start to make pretty good income for themselves. So that's me, but I've been talking about Forex trading, but what exactly is Forex, right? So Forex is the global market that actually allows the exchange of one currency for another. So when you when you go on vacation, or if you're buying foreign investments outside, you need to exchange your own domestic currency into another currency in order to buy real estate, or in order to spend money there, right? So and say, for example, you were going on a vacation, and then suddenly something called COVID happened, and your vacation gets canceled. But before you went on the vacation, you already exchanged some money. So for example, you're going to the UK, you've already exchanged some British pounds in order to go on that vacation. But somehow your trip got canceled, and now you're holding on to some British pounds that you're not going to use. And what are you going to do? You're going to transfer that money back into Hong Kong dollars, right? So that you can spend it. But after a few days, the exchange rate might have already changed. And during that transaction, you actually can gain or lose a certain amount of money. So that's Forex. And a lot of people have actually encountered that in their lives for sure. But today we're not going to be talking about Forex in general, but something called Forex trading, which is the buying and selling of currencies for profit. And what this means is that we are taking advantage of changes in the exchange rate to buy and sell and make money from there. Now, how does that actually work? So here on the screen, we have a chart of GBP USD, so British pounds, as I was just talking about. And at the left bottom of the screen, there's something called, you can see that there's something called an ATR5, right? And what ATR5 is basically is the average true range or average trading range of that particular currency, which is a measure of the volatility of that currency. And here, so you don't need a lot of knowledge. I'm just gonna point it out to you that right now the ATR it says it's around 130 pips. So let's do some simple math, right? Every day the market in GBP USD, the volatility is 130 pips. So every day it moves 130 pips per day. So pips is the units that we use for Forex movement. Similar to like the dollars in stocks. And approximately 1 pip is equal to around 10 US dollars, give or take. So if one day you can make 130 pips and 1 pip is equal to $10, then 130 pips times $10 per pip will give you $1,300 per day. That's how much money the market is open to give you. And in 1 month, so in 1 month there's 20 trading days. $1,300 times 20 trading days, that's $260,000 per month. Now, who would like to make an extra $26,000 in their bank account per month? If you want an extra $26,000 in your bank account every month, type yes in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. No, not Hong Kong dollars, US dollars, US dollars. Okay, great. Obviously everyone wants an extra $26,000, right? Now, but this is only just one market, right? So right now we're just talking about the pound US dollar market. There are actually 30 other markets in just major currency pairs that we look at. So you can basically times that number by 30. That's how much the market is giving you. And if you kind of put it into perspective, the Forex market average daily volume is $5.1 trillion. $5.1 trillion, which is 60 times bigger than the total stock market daily volume. So if you put together the New York Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange, Hong Kong, Singapore, all of that put together, the Forex market is still 60 times bigger than that. So imagine you have a rainbow on top of your head, and there's $5.1 trillion floating above in that rainbow every single day, right? Every single day, the daily volume is $5.1 trillion. All you need to do is you need to create a bucket. You need to create a bucket and stick it in the way of that rainbow and collect some of that $5.1 trillion every single day. That's all you need to do. And what you need is the correct bucket. You need to make the correct bucket to actually do this, right? Okay, now that you've understand a little bit about Forex, I'm going to go through some things that a lot of people actually talk about, right? So if you guys have attended, I know that a lot of people in the audience have attended Tony Robbins' course. If you have attended Tony Robbins' course, who knows the story of the 4-minute mile? Yep. Okay, so for those who don't know, right, the 4-minute mile is basically, for thousands of years, people believed that it was humanly impossible to actually run a mile in less than 4 minutes. So that was the belief that was held for thousands of years. But in 1954, there's a guy called Roger Bannister. He broke this barrier belief and he got himself to achieve the seemingly impossible, not just by physical practice, but by rehearsing in his mind every single day that this is actually possible, and breaking through this in his mind with so much emotional intensity that he created a reference for his own nervous system and allowed him to actually do this. And many people don't realize this, but the greatest aspect of his breakthrough was what it actually did for other people, right? So for thousands of years, no one was able to run 1 mile in 4 minutes. But within 1 year of breaking that record, 37 other runners actually also broke that record. And his experience was that it provided a reference that was so strong for the other runners that they also thought it was possible. And a year after that, 300 other people actually broke this record and ran a mile in less than 4 minutes. So this goes on to show that the number one thing that limits people is actually their own beliefs, right? And we have to break through those in order to actually become successful and achieve what we want. So let me help you break through some false beliefs that people have about trading for people who, have not experienced trading before. So misconception number one, or false belief number one, is that it is very time consuming to trade Forex. Who has that misconception? You think that you need to spend 8 hours every single day staring at the chart, to make sure that it's it's going your way. Otherwise, it's not going to work. But let me tell you this: my profitable daily trading strategy only takes 15 minutes a day. So what that means is that every single day I only spend 15 minutes to trade and to analyze the market and to decide whether I'm going to trade or not. And this has worked for me for the last 7 years and has helped me to produce consistent returns. So, that's a fact, right? This is what I've been doing for the past 7 years. So actually you don't need to spend, 4-8 hours every single day in order to trade successfully. And actually the more time you spend on it, you get too focused into it and you actually make less money from doing that. So it's not time consuming to trade Forex. And misconception number two, who's actually had this one? Leverage trading is very risky. I can lose more than I put in, right? A lot of people think that if you trade, it's going to be leverage and you can actually lose so much more money than you put into the account. So actually, coming from Warren Buffett himself, risk comes from actually not knowing what you're doing, right? Risk is not about leverage or losing more money, but actually risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. And I can tell you this: when you're trading in an account, you cannot lose more than you put in, because the broker will cut off your position before you can lose more money, right? Because if your money in the bank account goes to zero and you lose even more, then who's going to pay for that, right? The broker has to pay for that. So they won't let that happen. So you actually cannot lose more than you put in. And one thing is that I implement proper risk management and I take maximum 2% loss per trade, which is quite conservative, but if you think about it, it actually gives you a lot of peace of mind when you're looking at trading, right? If you only know that every single time you take a trade, you only lose 2%, then you're going to sleep very well at night. Rather than if you put half your money into one trade, then you're gonna have nightmares every single day. And misconception number three, this one is the one that I get the most, right? I know nothing about Forex, and trading Forex, it just seems too difficult for me to learn, right? The fact is, you encounter Forex every day in your life, right? So if you think about it, the example we just used, who has actually gone on vacation to a country outside of their own? If you've done it, then you've actually exchanged money and exchanged it back. So that's actually a Forex transaction. And if you're a real estate investor or a stock investor who buys US stocks, then you also have that same experience. So you actually encountered Forex, definitely. And the thing is, I have actually taught 300 plus students to become successful and profitable traders in less than 1 year. And those are students who have had no prior experience at all. Students, dentists, architects, retirees as well, who have actually done this as well. So if that many people have done it, then why can't you? All right, so those are some of the misconceptions that I wanted to really break through and stop you from having those limiting beliefs. And now that you know that Forex, trading is good, you might think, okay, so trading sounds like good, but why should I trade Forex, right? Why don't I just go and trade stocks instead? So let me quickly go through what are some of the advantages of trading Forex. So number one advantage is you can actually make money in any market condition. So for example, in stocks or properties, you can only buy and make money when it goes up, right? But in Forex, you can actually buy a currency pair if you think it's going up, or sell a currency pair if you think it's going down. And that means both in bull markets, when the market is doing very well, or in bear markets, when the market is doing very badly, you can still make profits. And you can trade both ways, which means you have twice as many opportunities to make money. And it doesn't matter if the market is doing well or not. It doesn't matter if there's coronavirus or whatever going on. And in fact, in volatile markets, like we're in right now, we actually have the opportunity to make even more money because all we need is movement in the market, right? And secondly, Forex is actually the fairest playing field in all markets. And why do I say that? Is because the market is not controlled by large institutions. So in stocks, especially if you're looking at small or mid caps, large institutions can actually control and move the market just by the sheer volume that they're trading. And I know this firsthand because I work in a fund, and whenever they place orders in some mid-cap stocks, we have to be very careful how we do it. So actually a lot of retail traders can get caught off guard if they're not careful. And it's like playing football or soccer, if you prefer to call it that way. But the field is actually slanted against you, right? So every time you're trying to run uphill and kick the ball uphill, but the ball just comes rolling back down. But in Forex, again, it's a $5 trillion market, which is 60 times bigger than the stock market. So actually, who in the world would have that amount of money to control a $5 trillion market? Not a lot of people. So if you think that HSBC or someone is actually going to go against you and eat up your money, it's actually very hard to do. And this really levels the playing field across for everyone. So you and Warren Buffett, or you and George Soros, or you and Goldman Sachs actually have the same playing field, and they don't have any advantage over you. So the third one is leverage, time and capital. So with proper risk management and with the correct use of leverage, you can definitely turbocharge your returns exponentially. So if you're a property investor, you understand the power of leverage, right? Say you had, $10,000, you can actually borrow another $50,000 and go and buy a $60,000 house with your own just $10,000 of capital. So you can do the same thing in Forex as well. You can take advantage of Forex movements. So the Forex market can move, say 1%, and actually you're making 3% off of that. But of course, you need to use the correct risk management and correct amount of leverage, because obviously leverage is a double-edged sword. So that you really need to have good risk management as well. Fourth one is low capital requirements and low transaction cost. So contrary to property investment, there's actually very low requirement to participate in the Forex market. You can actually literally open an account with 50 USD. That's how low you can actually go. But I'm not suggesting you should go and open a $50 account, because that would really be a complete waste of your effort. Like you do all your analysis, place all your trades, and what you're gonna make like $2. So it's not worth it. But you can see my point, right? You can start with a low amount that you're comfortable with. And the transaction costs are very low. So basically to trade 100,000 USD worth of currency, you need to pay just $7 in commission, which is equal to 0.007% of transaction costs. And if you compare that with property, where you pay 3% in stamp duty, 2% in agency fees, another 2% in legal fees, that is a lot higher than 0.007%, right? And lastly, it is a 24-hour market with high liquidity, which means you can trade whenever or wherever you want, right? So in stocks, there's an exchange where it's open from 9 to 4 p.m. and there's a 1-hour lunch break in between. And if you have a job, you might need to have to hide from your boss in order to place your trades because it's working hours and the market is about to close. Or if you're in Asia and you're trading US stocks, then you have to wait until 10 p.m. every single day before you can actually start trading. So that makes it quite difficult. But in contrast, Forex market is open 24 hours, 5 days a week. from Monday to Friday, 24 hours. So you can trade anytime, right? You can trade before you go to work, you can trade at lunch, you can trade after work, you can trade at night if you want. So it really gives you the flexibility to do and trade whenever you want, right? And which this again fits into what we want. We want to have freedom, right? So we want to have something that gives us a lot of freedom and flexibility to fit this around our lifestyle instead of fitting our lifestyle around the work that we do. So this is the top 5 advantages of trading Forex. Now, right now we are in this situation which is very unique, and it's, you know, the COVID situation has really caused a lot of companies to shut down or cut headcount because of the virus. People are losing jobs. But we as Forex traders, we are completely unaffected, and we are still making, you know, we're making more money during these times than any other time before. And why is that? Because the world is entering into an economic recession, so market volatility is at an all-time high. And really that's when there is a huge opportunity in the market, right? So at this point in time, you need to find new ways to thrive and survive in this environment. And a lot of people are at home right now. So most people are learning to trade stocks, and you know, some people are just watching Netflix, right? But right now you need to learn a high income skill that can give you consistent profits and produce extra income for you during this time when you're stuck at home. Some of you may unfortunately be out of a job or whatever. So my question to you is, how will you position yourself in this new era, right? Are you going to let your employer continue to dictate your pay and your lifestyle, or will you actually take control of your own finance and your own life? Are you going to continue to succumb to the economy and the market, or will you actually create your own economy? Now, I have a in-depth masterclass that actually teaches people how to trade Forex the professional way. And I will actually show you in that masterclass how you can implement this as well. And the masterclass is free. And you know, would it be okay if I share with you the masterclass? Just give you a little bit of information about it. It's called the Vincero Trading Masterclass. So if it's okay, type yes. If not, I can just, you know, end here and go to sleep. Okay, great. Yes. All right. So in this masterclass, we will discover 3 secrets. First one is, how will you generate consistent profits from the Forex market in any market condition, right? So that's what we talked about just now. The second is 3 common misconceptions that stop traders from achieving results that they're looking for. And if you know those, then you'll be well on your way. So we kind of briefly looked at some stuff, but there's going to be a lot more in-depth that we can go through during the masterclass. And finally, why now is the perfect time to create an infinitely scalable income and achieve the financial freedom that you and all of us really deserve. So my goal in this masterclass is to show you that the best way to exponentially increase your income is through through mastering and learning Forex trading. And the only way to master and learn this high income skill is to learn it from a proven practitioner, someone who has done it for the past 7 years and has had a bit of success in the industry. So if you go to the masterclass, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can earn an extra $1,000 to $12,000 US per month consistently. All right. So this masterclass is free. It will be online, and it is actually this coming Wednesday. 22nd of July, 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Hong Kong time. So if you cannot make this date, I'm not sure when I will do this again, but you know, right now this is the only one that I've scheduled so far. So please, if you're interested, then definitely sign up and make sure you are free to attend this one. So if you want to sign up, go to this link, www.vinceroia.com. So open up a new tab right now, go to the link and sign up to the free online masterclass. There will actually be limited slots available due to the maximum capacity of our software. So please register and make sure you come on time during the night, because our event will be full every single time. And honestly, this is a life-changing event. So if you're really serious about your future, or you want to learn a high income skill during this fantastic opportunity and fantastic time period. Sign up now before the slots get taken up, which I know will happen very fast. And it's free as well, so there's nothing to lose. So lastly, I want to leave you with a quote from Tony Robbins himself, right? So no matter how many mistakes you make or how slow you progress, you are still on your way to ahead of everyone who isn't trying. So, you know, his message is really to take action, and you really have to be in it to win it. So take action right now and sign up for the free masterclass. That's really it from me. I have quite a short period of time, but if you have any questions, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to ask. If you want to sign up, definitely sign up right now at the link, or you can actually get in touch if you have further questions at support@vinceroia.com as well. Okay, how much capital do we need to start, right? That's a very good question. I would say when you're first learning the skill, so I'm going to be really realistic with you, right? After listening to me talk for half an hour, you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to do it, very successfully at the very start, right? Imagine someone actually talked to you about playing golf for half an hour. You're not going to be able to take the shot really properly, right? So what I would suggest is that you go and learn the skill, and after a couple of months, then you will be able to consistently make money. So first of all, you need to get the knowledge, get the skill, and implement it. And start off with a small amount, right? Start off with an amount that you're comfortable with. So I can't tell you, you have your own financial situation, so I can't tell you actually how much you need to put in, right? But put in an amount that you're comfortable with and that you probably wouldn't need for the next 3 to 6 months. And use that as a learning experience to get the experience. And then you can, after you get the skill and master it, then you can scale up infinitely. Because if you think about it, what you're doing when you're trading Forex is, okay, you do all the analysis, but what you're doing is essentially you're clicking on a currency pair, you're clicking, what is your entry price, what is your stop loss, and then you click buy, right? All in all, it's around 6 clicks of the button. And you do the same thing when you're trading a $1,000 account, or when you're trading a $10 million account, you're clicking the exact same buttons, okay? And maybe you might have to click an extra 0 or something like that, but how much extra effort is that? So it's actually an infinitely scalable skill and infinitely scalable business for you. So that's how I would put it. Any other questions so far? Okay, no, okay, great. If not, then let's get ready for our next speaker. So our next speaker is Alex. Alex is a life and business coach. He's also a consultant, entrepreneur, and also a passionate mountaineer. And after 15 years of a successful corporate career, he decided to live a life of freedom and fulfillment. And so today he will share with us the secrets that transformed his life and that we can also apply immediately. So without further ado, let's welcome Alex.
Thank you, Justin. And thank you for your presentation, because I sign up, actually. The trading is one of my goals for this year, so that's really good. Let me share my screen. And this one, right? It's working. Yeah, okay, perfect. Well, so welcome everyone. I mean, it's a great event we're holding tonight, a very special event. And I'm going to start right away because I guess I've got 20 minutes to share 3 things that really helped me in transition in my life. And I'm sure it can help you achieve your own goals. So first, I would like to know, and I'm trying to find my chat room, sorry. I would like to know if you can put in your chat room who has attended Tony Robbins' event. So just put a yes if you have attended one of Tony's events. because I know some of us have, okay, yes, okay. Some of us have traveled a long way to attend those events. And I know it because I've met some of you in the US, or I've met some of you in Australia. And when we are there, we are super energized. We are super excited. We are surrounded by strangers, but we are hugging them and we are messaging them. And we just know them for like a couple of hours. And when we come back home, we usually are able to have our goals. We are having, we know why we want to achieve those goals, and we sometimes have even a written plan to achieve those goals. But however, after a few weeks, a couple of months, those goals fall behind, and we fail to execute. Who relate to that? I mean, if you have a goal that you have committed to at one of Tony's events, or even if you have a New Year's resolution and think you are behind right now, just put it in the chat room. It would be good for me to see that. Bounce now. Okay. 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 So the question is, why is it so difficult to achieve our goals and to execute on what we really want, what is important for us? And I've learned a lot of things when I was 40 years old, and I really want, if I wished, I would have be really happy to learn that when I was 20. And there are three things I want to share with you tonight. The first thing is, we often use our old mental model to implement new goals. And these mental models usually keep us in our comfort zone and at the same time make us overwhelmed. The second thing is it's about our environment. I mean, when we are at Tony's event, we are surrounded by 5,000 people, 200% energy, and we feel great. But when we are back home, we go back to the office and then we have our colleagues, and they are probably not as energized. They didn't come to Tony Robbins with us, right? And the last thing is what most people have difficulties to do, I think, is to strategize their goals and priorities. So who relate to that? I mean, type yes in the chat room. Okay. Let me share with you a story. I had a client. Her name is Amy. She was in her early 30s, and she had a good situation. She was working for a big company, earning about 600,000 Hong Kong dollars per year, married, and no children. But she came to me one day because she felt depressed. She felt behind on her life. She was telling me, you know, all my university friends are already directors. They are all earning $1 million. And the biggest reason why that happened was she had to follow her husband twice in her life, in different countries because of his job. So she started to have some resentment against her husband, and her marriage was really not going really well, and she was contemplating to divorce. So we really worked with her on her goals, her values, what she really wanted in life, what makes her happy. And she discovered that what she really wanted was to be a good wife. So she defined what was a good wife, what she wanted to feel about a good wife, and what she was feeling when she was doing things that makes her a good wife. You see, most of us, we are wired to function and to lead our lives with two mental models. And and that's normal because since we are born, we are conditioned by the society. We are our parents, our teacher, by the media. We are influenced by the social media on a perfect way to see what is a perfect, successful life, right? The first mental model I'm going to share is a have to be mental model. It's about people who think that when or if they will have more money or more time or resources, they will be able to do something, and then they will be more happy, or they will be what they want to be. And there are two types of people here. There are the dreamers, who are really people who always wait for something to happen before they do something. And there are the victims, who are always pushing the responsibility of something to happen before they can do something. But I think here we are more, most of us are more the second mental model, which is a super achiever. You know, we tend to believe that the more we do, the more we can have, and the more we will have, then we will be. You know, I mean, Amy was a typical example of super achievers. She was working hard, going early at the office, going late at night, pushing her team to achieve things, so she could have a promotion and be like her friends. But see, the problem with this, and I've been like that most of my life, so I really know how sometimes painful it is, and how overwhelmed we can be by all the things we think we need to do. The problem with this mental model is really that we do things, and most of the time they're not leading to exactly what we want and our dreams, because we are dictated by external forces. So I would invite you to look at a different mental model, which is the one I have applied in my life since 7 years now. And it's really about who I must be in my life. And when I'm saying be, is what state I want to live, what emotion I want to have every day. Because when you know exactly who you want to be, then it's really easy to choose the action and the behaviors you need to do to become that person. And then the have takes care of themselves. I mean, when Amy started to really realize what was important for her, and she wanted to be a good wife, and how she wanted to feel when creating a home for her family and supporting her husband, what happened is she changed her behavior, and she started to work on her relationship with her husband. And what is funny is that at the same time, she redefined what she wanted to be, who she wanted to be at work. And she's changed from being a very pushing manager and commanding manager to somebody more caring. And a year later, she was promoted to director, and she was really close to her goal of the $1 million goal. So really, it's about becoming who you want to be first. And I think a lot of time we are putting the model on the wrong side. It's really important. And so I would invite you to ask yourself those questions, and what kind of spouse you want to be, and what kind of parents, or who do you want to be, what role you want to play in your community, in the world, and who you want to be as a human being. The second thing I would like to share with you and is how important your environment is. You know, when the beauty when you start something is you need to be really careful about who you invite in your inner circle. And for those who don't know me, let me give you a little my story actually. I've been very lucky and fortunate in my life because life has given me a lot of opportunities to be very successful. And I was a senior executive in a big corporation doing M&A and traveling the world for them. I was living in a beautiful house in Sai Kung, so on the ocean, and I was able to wake up every morning with the sunrise, and that was really, really amazing. And for that company, I traveled a lot. I traveled over 180 days per year. I was taking over 100 planes per day. So, but I was lucky again, because I was traveling all the time in business class. I was going in the best 5-star hotels in the world. And all of this to end up in 2013, when the company had difficulties, they had to let me go. And this was a very difficult moment for me because I was going through a divorce. I was fighting to be able to see my kids. I have 2 kids. So I was feeling that I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose my car. I was feeling like losing my status and feeling like losing my identity, who I was, right? So I had a dilemma. I had to choose between finding a new job and doing something else, right? And of course, all my friends who were bankers or employees in big corporations, they all pushed me to say, hey, just find a new job. It will be very easy with my specific expertise, and you will have a stable life and you can earn a lot of money. But at that time, I decided to take 6 months off, and I went to do things that I haven't done or have postponed for a long time. So I went climbing, mountaineering, I picked up on sailing, I started meditation, and not all at the same time, of course. And I started to read books, and I started to attend more seminars. So I went to all Tony Robbins events, okay? And as you can see, and I'm sure you're like me, you have filled in all the pages of the books of Tony Robbins. And the more, there is something at one of the seminar that Tony said, it's success without fulfillment is failure. And the first time I heard that, it really resonated with me because it was exactly putting words on something I was feeling for a long time and I couldn't express. So what I've done after all these events, and probably you have done as well, is I have written down everything I wanted in my life, what I didn't want in my life, what was really meaningful, what was making me happy, and who I wanted to be. And that ended up in a 31-page document. And so, the transition in my life really came also because by doing all these new activities and by going to these events, I was able to meet new people. I was able to meet new friends, and something Tony is saying, and I think it's really important, is it was in Business Mastery. He says, you have to work on 2 businesses. You have to work on the current business and your next business. I think it's also really applicable to your personal life. We need to live our current life and our daily life, but at the same time, we need to spend some time working on the life we truly want. So I'm going to share something, I don't know, maybe some of you are familiar with that. It's called the emotional journey of creating anything great. And basically, when you have a goal, it's always great, right? when you think about a new thing, it's fun, you are enthusiastic, but when you start to try to implement it, then you start to go through difficulties and roadblocks and stuff like that. Why is that? It's really simple. It's because who you are today is what brings you where you are, and your skills and competencies that you have acquired bring you where you are. So in order to go to the next level, you need to acquire new skills. And that's why all of us go to Tony Robbins, right? So when we go to a seminar, it's fantastic because Tony is putting us in such a state that we are able to acquire so much new competencies and skills in such a short time and really change our mindset and work on our beliefs, that we are really changing our foundation. The problem is when we come home, is we are finding ourselves by our own, right? And so we start to work on our project, but very, very quickly, our life is coming back to us and we are back with the same environment and we have the same problem and everybody is asking you for your time. So little by little, weeks after weeks, your big dreams are falling behind. While if we were keeping going, this is when we really are able to move to the next level, because when you have the obstacles, your next level is after when you have overcome this obstacle. So the emotional journey is inevitable. The hard work is inevitable, but it's necessary to reach the next level. Today I do well in my life. I have a lot of freedom. I have the most beautiful wife. I have 2 beautiful kids. And most importantly, I have an exciting and inspiring mission. When I was at the Date with Destiny, one of my primary questions, and those who went to Date with Destiny know exactly what I'm talking about, right? My primary question was, how can I be perfect? How can I do that perfectly? And it has probably be a big blockage in my growth. But after Date with Destiny, my new primary question is, how can I unleash an abundance of fulfillment in people's life? Because really, when I'm able to, if I'm able to help people really enjoy more life, achieving their goals, and they'll be happier. And I hope that by being happier and being more fulfilled, they will be able to influence and inspire people around themselves, their kids, their spouse, their colleagues. And then all together, we can really change the world and make it a happier place for us and for the next generation. So that's really my mission in life. And the way I was able to transition is the third element is you need to strategize your life. You know, I am, and when I'm saying that is really to schedule everything. You know, when I'm saying, for example, I want to craft a loving and caring relationship with my wife. Okay, it's an idea. Okay, it's an idea. But then when I start to envision it, it becomes a dream. And when you plan it, it's a possibility. But it's only when you start to schedule it, you know, that it's becoming real. When I take my agenda and I put in my calendar the weekly date with my wife, and I put the time of preparing that date with my wife, this is when the relationship is going to become reality. So it's really important to take time to schedule things. I mean, Tony's events are an immersion and they are really good. But what we need to do after Tony's event is to have a daily practice to be able to progress. The momentum is what will make your dream come true. So if you really want a radical change in your life, we need to do things radically differently. And so I'm coming to the end of my time. So let me just give you the 4 steps that I am using to move my life and to achieve my goals. Okay. The first step, as we discussed, is who you want to be. And who you want to be means really, what are the state I want to live in? Do I want to wake up every morning and be bored going to work and fighting with my boss all the time? I mean, I've been so many times sent by my boss to places to meet people that I knew already would never do business with them, but I had to go. So one of my choices in my life was, I need to choose who I'm going to work with, because I want to have a very pleasant interaction with people I'm working with. I mean, I walk out of deals because I don't like how people behave. And that's really important. That's when you know who you want to be, you know, you put your life principles in place and you stick to it. The second thing is you need to feed your mind. I mean, everybody knows it, but it's really important, I think, that when you have a goal, let's say you want to write a book, or you want to plan for a better relationship, you need to spend some time every day to read something about that. And so just, even if it's only 20 minutes, just try to continuously feed your mind towards your goals. The third thing I think that is really important, and that helped me in my life, is to find a coach. Why? Because, you know, when you are working on your goals, and when I'm working with entrepreneurs, and I'm an entrepreneur, so I've been there, and I have the pain going through all these steps. And when you're an entrepreneur, often you feel yourself thinking by yourself alone and thinking around and not progressing. If you have a coach, the advantage is you get some feedback from the outside. I mean, you are too involved in your goals that you are not able to see the blind spots, right? So getting a coach is critical. And I mean, I'll be honored to work with you, but just find a coach that is not a friend, because you want a coach who has the skills to get you where you want to be. You want a coach that somebody who is going to push you, he's not going to listen to your excuses for not doing things. You want somebody who understands where you want to go and who believes in you. And that's really important if you want to progress. The last thing is to set up a daily action plan. Okay, so here you can see my Date with Destiny poster. So I've done everything, and you also have my Wheel of Life that I'm using. And I have, over the last 5 years, I have set up a system that I'm using on a daily basis, and that allows me to really keep track. Because if you are not able to measure your progress, you cannot know if you have achieved your goal, and you cannot get the momentum and the satisfaction of progressing towards your goal. The momentum is the most powerful force that will allow you to reach your goal. So I have done this system, and I'm using it daily. So you know, if you want, I mean, I will be soon doing a mastermind that will, the objective will really be to bridge everything we have learned at Tony Robbins event to execute your goals. So I would be honored to be your guide. We all have a mountain to climb, and I will be really honored to be your guide. So if you are interested in being part of a mastermind is really a group of people who understand each other, who understand every steps and support each other, who challenge each other, who give advice to each other in a very structured way, so that everybody is progressing it on his individual goals. So if you're interested to join this mastermind, please just contact me directly, or just go on my website here. I think life is our greatest adventure, and I would like to be with you to make it extraordinary. I still have a few minutes if you have any question. So your personal systems is impressive. Is it your own invention or Tony's? How you built that, and how has that worked for you? Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you. Actually, I base my system on Tony's system. And I think what is important is everybody is unique. Everybody has unique goals. And a system is just really working well if it's adapted to you. So my system is very comprehensive, and it works for me. So what I like to do during those masterminds is to of course share my system and adapt it to everyone, because everyone has different level of requirements. Some people are very analytical, some people are more creative. So we have to adapt the system to your specific personality. I think I'm out of time. So let me introduce the next speaker to you. The next speaker is Stephen. Stephen is a holistic life coach and metaphysic advisor. He's really passionate about universal law of nature and the best of the East and West wit and wisdom. So let's learn some Feng Shui secrets with Stephen.
Thank you, Alex. Okay, can you hear me? Okay. I'm very honored to be able to speak here, along with, a couple of my, Tony Robbins, friends here. For English speakers, I just want to tell you that I'm going to switch channel to Cantonese, but my presentation slides will be in English. So you should be able to follow, and I will try to, reiterate in English as well for a couple of the key points. let me just share my screen now. Okay. 大家好，我係 Steven。咁咧今日咧就好高興可以同你哋可以分享下關於香港風水嘅過去、現在同埋未來。咁首先我想問下大家咧，就係有邊個係睇過風水嘅？如果你睇過風水嘅，可以喺個 chat box 嗰度 type in yes 啦。咁另外咧，我就想問下你哋係咪好相信香港其實而家係即係undergoing緊一個好大嘅變化咧？咁今日咧，我咧會用風水嘅角度同你睇下香港嘅過去、現在同埋未來。咁如果你想了解呢啲天機點樣可以 position 你自己咧，咁今日你而家就係一個好啱嘅地方。咁首先咧，我介紹一下我自己啦。咁有啲朋友可能都聽過我講 talk 噶啦。咁我咧就做咗一個 website 咧，叫 ourlifemastery.com 啦。咁裏邊咧就講好多即係關於呢個中國玄學同埋另類教育嘅嘢嘅。咁我而家咧就係一個 holistic 嘅 life coach 啦，同埋一個 metaphysics 嘅 advisor。咁我之前咧都係做 investment banking 嘅，同之前兩位 speaker 一樣，都係 finance industry。咁我喺 New York、新加坡同埋香港都做過。咁你見到我就即係有讀過 MBA 啦，咁亦都係讀過 econ math 啊、computer science 啊，呢啲都係一啲好 quantitative 嘅 subjects 嚟嘅。OK， 咁但係其實咧，我發現咧咁係唔夠嘅。咁咧我就其實咧就即係嘥咗都好多時間咧，就去學好多唔同嘅嘢。咁我發覺咧，即係西方嘅呢啲 personal development 嘅大師咧，咁教識好多即係好 practical 嘅即係知識啦。咁其中一個當然就係 Tony Robbins 啦，咁亦都有 Robert Kiyosaki 啊、Blair Singer 啊，仲有Dr. Demartini 同埋Donny Epstein、Keith Cunningham 等等。咁呢啲咧係我其中一啲即係上過嘅 life training 啦。OK， 我亦都好慶幸之前咧上咗好多呢啲 life training， 因為今年咧都唔可以上。咁另外仲有一啲係譬如係 Dr. Joe Dispenza 啊、Catherine Shainberg on Imagery 啊，亦都有Dr. Lazim Harriman 嘅呢個Resonance 嘅呢個 retreat 啦。咁透過上呢啲 personal development 嘅課程咧，咁我幾年前咧就出咗一本journal 啦，就叫做掌控人生日誌。咁但係其實咧，我花最多時間學嘅咧，其實就係中國玄學同埋術數。咁咧我就學咗15年嘅呢啲紫微斗數啊、八字啊、風水啊、奇門遁甲啊咁樣樣。咁今日咧主要同大家講咧就係即係中國嘅風水啦。OK。咁中國嘅風水咧就分咗即係兩個大嘅即係派系啦，一個咧就叫做形家，一個咧就叫做理氣。咁風水咧其實就係要形理兼備嘅。咁我哋嘅目的咧其實咧就係想攞啲好嘅 energy 喺適當嘅空間同埋時間咧就可以即係 capture 到呢隻好嘅 energy， 而減低呢啲負嘅能量。咁我叫做增吉減凶咯。咁風水咧，其實咧就最主要咧，其實就係要睇呢個巒頭，即係形家，即係嗰個 forms。咁理氣咧係相對嚟講係比較次要嘅，所以我哋會成日聽到一句説話叫做巒頭不真，理氣無用。咁如果喺一個 micro 嘅 level 咧，咁我哋又可以睇到，譬如一個人佢住喺一間即係屋裏邊啦，又或者佢喺個辦公室裏邊啦，我哋可以睇到佢嘅吉凶嘅。咁如果係一個 macro 嘅 level 咧，我哋都可以睇到一個城市同埋一個國家嘅命運啦。OK， 咁風水咧簡單嚟講咧，我哋係主要咧係睇山同埋水。咁咧山同埋水咧分別係代表陰同埋陽嘅。咁呢個陰陽嘅交溝咧，其實就係產生咗好多唔同嘅吉凶啦。OK， 咁 中國咧就有句説話咧，就叫做山管人丁，水管財。咁意思好簡單，山係講人丁，水係講我哋嘅財。OK， 咁如果一個城市嘅山嘅能量係好強嘅話咧，咁呢個地方咧係好適合去做一個政治嘅中心。OK， 例如北京。OK， 咁水嘅能量咧就係適合做一啲同錢有關嘅嘢。咁所以你見到譬如香港同埋上海咁樣樣咧，咁佢係即係水嘅能量係相對嚟強，咁佢哋係做唔到呢個政治嘅中心嘅喎。咁咧，我哋而家咧睇一睇咧呢個即係中國嘅龍脈啦喎。OK， For English speakers, okay, we are going to look at the 3 main ley lines, or we call this mountain dragons in China. OK。咁咧就3條龍，就有北龍、OK、中龍同埋南龍。北龍咧就喺昆侖山嗰度開始，咁跟住咧經過去北京，就喺北京嗰度再去到朝鮮。OK， 咁中龍咧就喺中間行啦。OK， 咁中間行，跟住咧佢就喺上海啊嗰頭咁就出嘅。OK， 咁南龍咧就向南行嘅。咁兩支山咧就會夾一支水。OK， 所以咧。北龍同中龍咧就夾咗個黃河 ，OK， 中龍同埋南龍咧其實就夾咗個長江啦。咁香港咧，其實咧佢就係咁啱咧，就係南龍嘅盡結地。咁所以如果你睇呢個地圖咧，見到咧香港係喺個珠江嘅出口 ，OK。大家而家睇一睇，留意下呢個香港嘅呢個地圖咁。如果你睇到呢個香港地圖嘅話咧，你見到我呢個 pointer 咧，其實你見到咧啲山脈咧入香港嘅地方，其實就喺呢個東北嘅位置入嚟嘅。OK， 北面咧就係即係隔咗一條深圳河咧，就係中國大陸啦。OK， 咁你見到西南邊嘅咧就係大嶼山啦。OK， 咁中間呢度咧就係大帽山啦。佢就係香港嘅呢個叫做主山啦 ，OK， 咁跟住就九龍半島啦，咁九龍半島之後咧就係香港島。咁你留意下呢個即係地圖咯喎 ，OK， 其實西面啊、東面啊、南面咧其實都係水嚟嘅，只係北面咧係有陸地嘅。咁其實咧你留意一下咧，就係香港咧嘅主要嘅商業地區咧。就係喺個維港兩岸噶嘛 ，OK？ 維港兩岸咧，其實就有好多山包住佢嘅。咁我哋風水咧，最主要講咧就係叫藏風聚氣 ，OK？ 咁啱咧，頭先咧我哋睇過咧，就係見到啲叫做3個幹龍啦 ，OK？ 咁我哋風水咧有句説話咧，叫做富貴就出在龍身上。咁咧即係話咧。錢啊，同埋富貴呢啲咧，全部咧都係要喺嗰個龍嗰度身上先出現嘅。咁幹龍咧就會出啲大城市 ，OK。所以你見到每一個呢啲大嘅城市咧，其實佢都係喺嗰個龍脈，即係嗰條脈嘅脈氣上面嘅。如果唔係咧，佢做唔到一個好大嘅城市，或者一個好成功嘅城市咯。OK， 咁。頭先講過啦，香港咧就係南龍嘅盡結啦。咁樣咧，因為咧嗰個山脈咧由中國大陸入嚟香港嘅方向咧係東北面。OK，the main ley lines actually enter Hong Kong from the northeast direction. OK，in Chinese we call this 艮龍。OK，it's just one of the representation of the 八卦。咁咧 based on 呢個 direction or 呢個 position 咧。我哋咧其實咧就可以睇到香港嘅吉凶嘅 ，OK。咁因為呢個東北嘅呢個叫做坐向咧，其實佢先後天水最理想嘅方向咧就喺西北面有水，同埋東面都有水。咁香港咧點解人哋話叫做福地咧？嗱咁啱咧，佢就喺西北面咧就係珠江嘅水，咁跟住又東面咧就喺鯉魚門嗰度嘅水入，咁咧佢就聚晒啲水咧就喺香港一個又闊又深又清嘅維多利亞港，所以香港咧係可以吸引到好多呢啲人才同埋錢入到嚟。 而變成一個世界金融中心，同埋咧佢嘅地價咧係全世界係最貴，係也真係有佢嘅原因嘅。OK， 咁頭先睇嗰個咧就係贏家，一贏家咧其實係為主嘅，因為如果冇嗰個先天局咧，我哋後邊講嘅呢啲我哋叫做理氣咧，其實就冇乜作用嘅。OK， 咁我講一啲 basic 先。OK， 呢個咧就叫做落書盤，或者我哋叫做飛星。其實每一個 number 呢個1、2、3、4、6、7、8、9咧，都係代表一種能量、一種五行 ，OK， 同埋一個方向。咁呢個表咧，其實就同我哋嘅指南針咧，基本上係一樣，只不過咧佢係南北調轉咗 ，OK。咁每一個 number， 譬如1咁係代表北面啦，9係代表呢個南面。頭先咧我哋咪講緊我哋嗰個東北面嘅，咁咧其實佢係一個由8去代替嘅。咁呢個落書盤咧，打橫、打斜、打直去加咧，加埋佢都係15嘅。OK。咁跟住咧，另外一個 concept 咧就叫做60 year cycle， 就60甲子。OK。咁我哋啱啱而家喺下元嘅甲子，咁咧佢由1984年開始到2044。咁而家咧我哋咧就喺2020。咁呢個大家應該都好熟悉㗎啦。就一個五行生克嘅呢個圖啦，就係金木水火土。咁呢個5個五行咧，就係即係代表咗5個唔同嘅能量啦。咁佢哋有相生相克嘅作用。咁咧，我想介紹一下咧，我哋即係喺我哋嘅理氣裏邊咧，有呢個叫做三元九運啦。呢個三元九運咧，其實就好簡單嘅。我哋每一個元咧，就好似頭先咁有個60甲子，咁就60年。咁佢就分上元、中元同埋下元，夾埋咧就係3乘60就180年。咁每一個60年裏邊咧，每一個元裏邊咧，我哋咧可以細分做每20年嘅一個運。OK， 所以咧每一個運咧就係20年。如果有9個嘅話咧，佢亦都啱啱好180年。咁而家咧其實咧，我哋而家咧就喺呢個叫白運。OK，right now we are in the period 8. It's between 2004 and 2023, okay? And it is represented by the earth element. 如果你識中文嘅話咧，咁你可以睇呢個表啦。咁樣呢個咧表佢就會分到每一個元運嘅五行啦 ，OK， 同埋佢哋嘅屬性。咁嗱，三元九運咧係乜嘢咧？其實我哋頭先有講過，就係一個180年嘅一個大嘅 cycle，OK。咁而家咧，我哋就喺呢個叫做白運，就係2004至2003。咁我哋嚟緊嗰個 future 嘅九運咧，就係2024到2043。咁你可以睇到一樣 pattern 嘅，就係每一次係 around 呢個 transition periods 嘅時候咧，香港咧都會有啲 major events。So if you look at the 6 periods, for instance, back in 1967, there was a Hong Kong riot, okay? And then in 1982, there was Sino-British discussion, followed by the Sino-British Joint Declaration in 1984. And then in between the transition of the 7th period to the 8th period, we had SARS. So what's going to happen in the upcoming 9th period? That's the question, right? Okay, let's look at this chart again. Okay， 我哋而家睇呢個落書盤咧，頭先咧就打橫打直打斜加15啊嘛。如果佢係對面嘅加埋咧，就係啱啱好係10嘅。咁你記住，而家咧我哋咧用呢個叫做好簡單嘅合十嘅 formula。咁我哋睇一啲嘢咯喎。OK， 因為而家咧見到呢啲每一個 number 代表一個 direction， 同埋代表每一個元運。OK， 咁咧。我舉翻呢個例先啦。譬如我哋而家咧就喺呢個八運啊嘛。八運咧，你見到佢係喺東北嘅。咁我哋最 ideal 嘅 position 咧就係想喺東北面喺8嘅地方咧係有山。喺佢嘅 opposite， 即係8加2係等於10嘅呢個2嘅位就係西南位咧。我希望佢有水。OK。Let me explain this in English one more time, so it's easier for people to understand. So we are now in the 8th period, okay? 8th period is in the northeast position, and in Feng Shui theory, okay, ideally you want to see mountains in the northeast. Okay, but in the opposite direction, i.e. southwest, okay, you want to see water. That's the ideal scenario for the simple formula. So in this case, right, Hong Kong actually have mountain in the northeast, and then you actually see water in the southwest. So actually during period 8, Hong Kong has been doing very well. 咁而家咧用中文講一次，我哋咧就睇七運啦。OK， 七運咧嗰陣時候咧個七咧就喺西面嘅，咁即係話希望七面係有山，係咪？對面嘅三仔 ，OK， 因為7加3係10啊嘛，就希望佢有水。咁香港咧西面咧其實係冇山嘅 ，OK， 但係個東面佢係有水嘅。咁係咩意思咧？即係話喺七運嘅時候咧，佢係賺到錢嘅。因為東面有水，但係一七咧係冇山，所以人丁咧係會唔係好 stable， 所以其實喺七運嘅時候咧，香港係好多人去移民嘅。OK， 咁七咧當時嘅 energy 咧係金，金咧係代表咩咧？金融啦，真係見到嗰啲金色啦，嗰啲咁樣嘅嘢。咁當時咧，如果你記得咧，香港嘅尖東咧其實好繁榮嘅，太古城啊嗰邊咧都係嗰陣時喺嗰啲時間係冇起嘅。咁但係去到八運嘅時候咧，佢就轉咗啦。咁去八運嘅時候咧，就係往西南見到水，咁咧就係譬如西九，又例如呢個貝沙灣，甚至乎大嶼山都喺八運嗰陣時發展㗎。咁如果你了解咗呢個 formula， 你就可以知道未來係點咧？未來係九運啊嘛。咁九咧就喺南邊，即係你希望南邊係有山 ，OK， 北面係有水嘅 ，OK， 呢個就係個 ideal scenario。如果你冇呢個 ideal scenario 嘅，你最少都希望可以見到水，因為有水就有錢，咁其他嘢都容易傾啦，係咪？咁呢個咧只不過係一個即係 summary， 我頭先講咗，可以俾一啲 English speaker 佢哋去即係 follow 下啦。OK， 咁嗱，我而家想講一講咧就係history of Hong Kong。咁記唔記得頭先講咧？一個大嘅三元咧係180年，咁每個元咧就係60年，咁再將佢 break down 咧就每個運係20年，咁總之加埋180年。咁而家今年係2020啊嘛 ，OK，2020 60年前係乜嘢啊？60年前咧喺中國咧就係嗰陣時係有一個大躍進，係有一個饑荒嘅。咁跟住再60年之前咧就1900年，嗰陣時候咧就八國聯軍攻陷北京。咁跟住180年前咧 ，exactly 咧就係嗰陣時就鴉片戰爭啦。OK， 咁你見到紅色呢度咧，其實我就 emphasize 咗一個 complete 嘅 cycle 咧係180年。咁咧佢嘅轉變咧係最大嘅，跟住咧就係到一個60年嘅 cycle， 跟住先到一個20年嘅 cycle。咁我想問大家，你哋知唔知香港係幾時開埠㗎？香港係1842年開埠嘅 ，OK， 嗰陣時係上一個180年嘅八運喎 ，OK， 咁嗰陣時係乜咧？嗰陣時咧，中國咧係清朝啊嘛，咁佢係一個封建社會，咁佢由封建社會變成一個半封建加殖民，係一個 political shift 嚟嘅。咁你可能會問，咁再之前嗰180年係點啊？咁如果你熟讀中國歷史嘅話咧，係1662年。嗰陣時咧係南明嘅末年，跟住係變咗係清朝康熙嘅，即係嗰陣時嘅時間。咁大家都好清楚，一國兩制係50年不變啊嘛，係到幾時啊？2047年啊嘛。2047年咧，其實啱啱就係 beginning of 下一個大嘅元運嘅一運。OK， 咁講翻。而家啦，而家 OK， 我哋係2020年啊嘛。咁頭先講過1842年係香港各樣啊嘛。咁加180年係幾時啊？2022年喎。咁2020年會點咧？2022年咧嗰陣時咧咁啱咧，我哋應該會有一個新嘅特首啦。OK， 咁會唔會有另外一個 political change 咧？咁我想即係 post 呢個 questions 去俾大家去諗一諗。OK， 會唔會係一個即係政治嘅改變咧？咁呢個留翻俾你大家去考慮。咁我想講另外一樣嘢咧，就係點解要講咁多呢個歷史咧？因為我哋知道歷史跟住先可以睇未來嘅。 OK， 咁上一次嘅180年嘅九運 ，OK， 即係1844年開始係乜咧？嗰陣時咧係有一個太平天國嘅即係rebellion。咁嗰陣時候咧，有好多人咧喺大陸咧就嚟咗香港，因為要逃避戰亂啊嘛，係咪？咁 at the same time 咧，嗰陣時候咧，1860年嘅時候咧，九龍咧都割讓咗俾英國㗎啦。OK， 嗰陣時係九運啊，係第二次鴉片戰爭。OK， 咁啱咧喺嗰陣時嘅九運咧，就有呢個金山。OK， 就喺三藩市同埋澳洲。咁有好多嘅華人咧，就經過香港咧就離開咗香港。所以其實嗰陣時咧，我哋係有 inflow 同埋 outflow of 人嘅。咁如果我問你未來嘅九運會點咧？咁如果你睇呢個 history， 你可能會見到會有一個好 similar 嘅 pattern。OK， 咁嗱，我哋而家咧就其實 about 咧就係去呢個九運，佢正式咧係2024年，但係其實我哋而家已經入緊氣㗎。頭先我有講過啦 ，OK， 我哋其實每一個運咧係等於每一個卦啊嘛。咁我哋八卦裏邊咧有8個卦 ，OK。咁八運嘅時候咧，用艮係代表，艮係乜咧？艮咧係陽性嘅男性嘅能量嚟嘅。咁佢係代表土，代表少男，代表東北。如果係人體身體可以代表鼻，可以代表手。咁所以你見到咧，東北面譬如韓國 ，OK 嗰陣時係冒起嘅，即係呢段時間 ，OK 亦都有好多人中意韓星 ，OK。咁地產啊當然就升得好勁啦，因為佢屬土。咁但係你記唔記得七運嗰陣時係點啊？七運嗰陣時係講金 ，OK。咁係講少女 ，OK 嗰陣時我哋用日本貨㗎 ，OK 香港咧嗰陣時都有 twins 㗎 ，OK 咁九運係乜咧？九運嚟緊咧，其實咧就係叫做離卦。離卦咧係一個陰性嘅feminine energy 嘅能量。咁佢係用火嚟代表。咁喺離卦裏邊咧，佢係代表中女啦。咁亦都代表男方。如果係人體部分咧，代表眼，代表心。咁你知道呢啲要嚟做乜咧？因為如果你知道咗呢一樣嘢，你就可以掌握未來。咁你就可以利用呢啲即係 information 去 take profit， 可以 position 你自己。OK， 而家咧八運當然就係八運嘅 energy 最強啦。咁但係佢嘅 future energy 九運同埋之後嘅一運嘅 energy 其實都有嘅。OK， 但係七運同六運嘅 energy 咧，其實已經係退緊氣㗎啦。所以如果你用七運去睇，因為我而家八運啊嘛，七運嘅 energy 係金啊嘛，係金融啊嘛，係譬如我哋金鋪啊呢啲咁樣啊嘛。佢七運嗰時係好盛行嘅，嗰陣時我自己都係做緊 investment banking 嘅。嗰陣時七運即係未到八運頭嗰陣時候咧，係揾緊好多錢㗎，因為嗰陣時金融咧係未退嘅。但係去咗你2008年，即係入咗去九運嘅，唔係入咗去八運嘅4年之後咧，其實已經係向下。而家其實係越嚟越差嘅。OK， 所以你見到咧，嗰七嗰個 energy 係一路咁退，但係九嘅 energy 嚟緊喎。九因為火啊嘛，咁火係代表乜咧？火咧就係代表呢個文明。OK， 咁咧佢亦都係代表科技。OK， 咁所以你見到好多 technology 嘅呢啲股票咧，其實喺八運嘅時期咧已經係開始旺，跟住越升越有。仲會繼續去 ，OK？ 如果有聽過我 seminar 嘅朋友，我都講過好多次㗎啦，係咪？即係就算年頭嗰陣時，我都嗌你哋去買 Amazon 啊、騰訊啊呢啲股啊 ，OK？ 咁如果你睇九運 ，OK？ 九運嘅話咧，因為佢係離卦，如果用中文去解釋咧，就係離就係代表即係分離嘅 ，OK？ 即係可以係代表。呢個離婚啦，可以代表 social distancing 啦，分離啦，亦都好 extreme 嘅情況下代表戰爭。所以你睇上一次180年嘅九運，其實係好多戰亂㗎。OK， 咁因為九運咧係 feminine energy， 咁 feminine energy 咧就係當然係女性啦。所以女性咧其實咧就係會越嚟越強嘅。OK， 呢個 good news to women 啦。OK，but the men have to adapt to this new normal。Okay, in this 9 period, okay, you're going to see a lot of these women leaders. Okay, so want to emphasize again the future promising industries. because in the 9 period it represented by this bagua called Ligua. Then you see technology company, virtual realities, cryptos, something related to fire, okay? It can also be symbolized by the sun, so solar energy, even cooking, okay? In Chinese actually 離卦係代表麗啦，麗即係靚啦 ，OK？ 咁靚嘅嘢咧可以係 beauty product 啦，亦都可以係代表文明啊嘛，頭先講，所以就係 technology 啦。咁離咧離中虛啊嘛，係咪？咁所以係 virtual 嘅嘢咯 ，OK？ 咁如果你掌握到呢啲咧，其實你已經可以即係利用呢個 information 去揾錢㗎啦 ，OK？ 咁其實你已經見到九運已經出現咗㗎啦，呢啲即係 energy， 因為你見到 deglobalization 啦。有陣時我哋講全球一體化㗎嘛，而家係講分開㗎喎，講 social distancing， 講呢啲 tech company、internet、COVID-19 令到呢樣嘢更加即係強勁。咁之前我提過啦，離咧，因為離中虛，就 symbolize by 我哋個眼，因為個眼個 pupil 中間係空㗎嘛。咁其實你就算唔睇呢個風水，唔睇呢個玄學，你都知道而家咁多人用呢個 iPad 睇呢個手機，睇呢個電腦，眼可能就會有好多呢啲毛病咯。咁睇到翻 COVID-19 啦 ，COVID-19 咧做得最好、處理得最好嘅呢啲國家咧，譬如台灣啊、德國啊、New Zealand 啊、Finland 呢啲，全部都係女性嚟㗎，已經。咁調翻轉我哋男性主導嘅呢啲國家咧，咁就處理得唔係咁好啊。所以你見到咧，其實已經係，就算喺香港都一樣㗎咋。你日上電視見到啲咩官員啦，係咪林鄭啊，或者係陳肇始啊，甚至乎係律政司啊，全部都係女人嚟㗎 ，OK？ 對唔住啊，男性朋友 ，OK？ 即係呢個係個 future trend，you just have to live with it。咁講翻 ideal location 啦，如果對你一個即係投資者 on 呢個 properties， 或者你住喺香港嘅話，咁你會點樣 position 咧？頭先有講到就係喺九運裏邊咧，我哋希望南面係有山，北面係有水嘅。但係以成個香港嚟計咧，佢北面係 attach 大陸係冇水嘅 ，OK？ 跟住喺南邊咧佢係冇山嘅，佢亦都係水嚟嘅，所以其實佢係 reverse 咗嗰個 ideal 嗰個 directions 咯。但係亦都唔使太擔心 ，OK？ 因為本身咧香港嘅 business district 咧，主要都係喺港島呢一邊。咁如果喺港島呢一邊望到維港，佢係北面有水，而佢後邊咧係有一個太平山嘅，所以咧香港咧唔會太差 ，OK？ 尤其是香港島住喺維港即係呢一邊嘅 ，OK？ 咁所以如果你要投資物業嘅話咧，我會揀即係北面見到水嘅地方啦 ，OK？ 咁但係香港最多嘅有錢人咧係住喺南區。咁南區咧，佢 exactly reverse 咗嗰個 directions 㗎。喺南邊咧，佢係南邊係見唔到山，北面佢係見唔到水㗎。所以咧，如果 based on 我嘅 predictions 咧，咁就會有錢人咧就會少咗啦。咁同埋佢哋賺錢咧就唔會好似嗰陣時賺得咁多啦。OK， 因為山管人丁，水管財啊嘛。OK， 咁香港嘅主要嘅收入咧，例如呢啲金融啊，或者係旅遊業啦，因為呢個正財咧係冇啦。咁咧，所以佢係會減低咯 ，OK？ 咁香港係要 develop 其他嘅 source of income 啦 ，OK？ 咁頭先有講過，如果你睇翻上一次嘅九運 ，OK？ 又係會有好多 inflow 同埋 outflow of people 咯 ，which is 你用風水去睇佢係咁，你用 history 去睇佢亦都係咁。佢好似我哋七運嗰陣時候，因為香港嘅七運嘅時候咧，要有山嘅地方佢係冇山 ，OK？ 咁係好多人係有呢個叫做離開。咁但係亦都會有啲人喺 mainland 嗰度落翻嚟填補咯 ，OK？ 咁頭先亦都 mention 過香港咧就係艮龍啊嘛，即係東北面嘅。咁八嘅 energy 咧其實係減緊㗎啦，所以咧我哋會 expect 香港嘅 property price 咧唔會好似八運嘅時候再升得咁多。其實你而家已經見到佢係開始 slow 咗㗎啦 ，OK？ 因為佢最 peak 嘅 energy 就會喺嗰個元運嘅中間咯，嗰個時期啦。因為而家已經係八係 decline 緊，九係嚟緊啊嘛 ，OK？ 咁我會 watch out for 2027年咯 因為就係用一個最簡單嘅方法，就係頭先講個60甲子，1967年有暴動 ，OK， 我哋加60年就2027啦 ，OK， 火仲要係代表呢個快速嘅轉變，代表可能係有呢個即係戰亂啦。咁呢一度咧，我就想 show 俾你哋睇，就係其實我哋可以好 precise， 可以用呢啲數學嘅方式。I just want to show you that actually we can, predict the future based on the directions of Hong Kong. Okay, we can set up a chart like that, and then we can read it, and then you can actually obtain a lot of valuable information. Just want to show you this chart. What is going to look like? This is the macro flying star chart for Hong Kong. But if you need to learn how to read this, then you can join my upcoming masterclass. And then for Hong Kong Island, there's another chart. So we talk about Hong Kong in general, but we can be more specific when it comes down to the flying star of a specific direction. 因為香港島咧個來龍係唔係完全一樣，因為我哋入嚟嗰個來龍係東北面啊嘛，但係香港嗰個島嗰個我哋叫做佢嗰個回龍固祖嗰條龍咧，佢係南龍嚟嘅，佢係離龍嚟嘅。咁所以佢個 direction 係唔一樣噶。所以如果 within 香港咧，咁你就會睇香港同埋九龍或者新界嘅比較咯。OK， 咁仲有其他 criteria 嘅，因為我頭先 show 俾你睇嗰係一個 simple formula， 呢個係一個其他嘅呢個 criteria。因為如果你 meet 唔到最 ideal 個 scenario， 其實你仲有第二啲 scenario meet 到，有啲 secondary 嘅 criteria 嘅，係可以令到即係你嗰個 properties 係嘅風水係有轉變嘅。咁我亦都好想講俾大家聽咧，就即係我有一個好中意嘅即係 personal development 大師啊 John DeMartini。He has this famous quote, okay, master have foresight and create contingency plans, while the masters often have, while the masses often have the hindsight and remain clueless with reactions. 所以咧，我係希望大家咧係可以得到天機咯。咁你就可以 plan 啦。咁我有個 upcoming 嘅即係class 啦 ，OK， 個 upcoming class 咧就係下個禮拜日嘅4點至6點啦。咁樣我其實舊年咧就喺我嘅舊 office 嗰度咧，香港做咗呢個 one day 嘅 Master of Destiny 嘅 class 俾 Tony Robbins 嘅呢啲朋友嘅。咁但係今年咧就因為有呢個疫情關係啦，咁所以咧我只可以做一個 online 短嘅 version。但係呢2個鐘頭裏邊咧，你可以學到頭先嘅資料嘅一啲 details 啦，亦都可以知道點樣可以計算啦。咁你可以利用咗呢個方法，可以apply 到其他所有嘅地方，甚至乎係睇未來嘅元運啦。即係九運其實有好多 trends 嘅。咁如果你能夠掌握到個 information 咧，可以 best position 自己啦。咁有興趣嘅朋友咧，係可以去 sign 呢個 sign up link 啦。OK。咁同埋我之前亦都有講過好多唔同嘅 talk 咧，有 energy 嘅 talk 啦，有即係 personal development 嘅 talk 啦。咁我都有個即係少少嘅 YouTube channel 嘅，如果你有興趣。咁最後咧，我就想即係 before Q&A 之前咧，我俾3個 take away 你啦。OK， 我哋頭先講咁多呢啲咧，其實講緊天地，但係其實咧就係有3個 factor 影響人嘅命運啦，就係天地人。啱才，所以人嘅 human capital 同埋 collective mind， 包括呢個 government policy 呢啲咧，其實係有一個好大嘅影響嘅。所以如果你能夠即係增吉減凶嘅話咧，咁其實你係可以改變你嘅命運嘅。OK， 咁同埋咧，我想再 emphasize 多次，如果你係諗緊去移民或者去投資嘅咧，咁你記住嚟緊嘅九運咧，就係希望見到南邊有山同埋北邊有水。OK， 如果冇嘅話咧，都希望北面有水。OK， 如果你係要工作或者投資嘅話咧，我希望你可以做到同火有關嘅嘢，咁咧你就會容易成功，因為你係 flow with 呢個 natural 嘅 energy， 咁咧呢樣嘢係令到你係事半功倍嘅。咁或者而家咧，我係睇下有咩朋友有啲咩問題咁樣你哋可以 type 你嘅 questions 啊， 咁我哋可以而家去 Q&A 啦。Let me see if there's any questions.
Does Vancouver fit in the 9th period feng shui criteria?
Actually, Canada as a whole fits half of the criteria because the north part you can see water. Okay, in Vancouver, it depends on where you live, right? If you live in the Vancouver city and the north side, actually the most expensive ones along the the coast, then those areas are pretty good. 仲有我見到有啲人問問題啊，我睇到啊 ，Harbour London 同 San Francisco UK，OK， 咁嗰啲咧就唔係好合呢個 criteria 啦。當然，如果好簡單嚟講咧，你可以睇下，譬如係南邊嘅新加坡啦、馬來西亞啦 ，OK， 咁澳洲啦、紐西蘭啦，呢啲咪喺南邊啦，北面有水嘅 ，OK， 就算。你去唔到最 ideal 嗰個 scenario， 你揾到啲有北面嘅有水嘅地方，其實好多北歐嘅地方都北面都有水㗎。甚至乎你去到頭先講，譬如喺 Vancouver 咁樣，佢唔係 ideal 嘅 scenario， 但係佢都可以喺北面有水。咁呢啲都係即係會係有個好嘅 performance 咯。OK， 咁佢問 US 啊 ，US 今日係講香港。咁如果你要想知道多啲呢啲咧，可能要 join 我另外一個 class 咁樣，我哋先至有時間去答呢個問題啦。咁我諗，如果睇下仲有冇咩問題先嗱，睇下。OK， 哇，有好多人問好多呢個城市，不過我諗而家可能時間就已經差唔多啦。咁等我 introduce 一下我哋下一個 speaker。咁好多謝各位啦，今日聽我哋講完啦。咁其實呢一排咧就有好多人最多人講嘅話題咧就係講移民啦，係咪？咁接落嚟嘅呢位 speaker 咧係 Elaine 啦。咁 Elaine N 咧佢咧就會講一下究竟一個 business 嘅 idea 點可以令到你可以攞到呢個移民加拿大嘅資格。咁 Elaine 咧有18年嘅呢個服務科技公司嘅經驗啦，就包括咗 Google 啦、Airbnb 啊、Dropbox 啦，咁做咗好多呢個培訓，同埋咧喺幫唔少嘅呢個初創科技公司嘅公司做好多唔同嘅 user experience 啦，或者係市場嘅策略。咁佢而家咧就喺加拿大咧就幫緊好多喺香港有意去移民創業嘅人咧，就透過呢個叫做 Startup Visa Program。就舉家去加拿大去創建一個新天地。咁我而家將呢個時間交俾 Elaine， 我哋好多謝佢。
多謝 Stephen。Okay. Thanks everyone for attending. Actually, this session will also be in Cantonese because I think most of our foreign Western friends probably already have a foreign passport. So I'm going to speak in Cantonese. 好，多謝大家，我係 Elaine 啦，咁樣咧，Elaine N2， 我即係 N20啦 ，OK， 所以 N20啦，係我嘅 YouTube channel 嚟嘅。咁我咧今日咧就會講下呢個點樣移民去加拿大 with just a business idea 咯，係可以係喺6個月之內啦，即係for某啲情況下，某啲人係可以嘅。OK， 咁我多謝 Stephen。解釋你嘅風水啦，我都覺得幾重，因為第一咧，我係女人啦，我又係中女啦，係咪？又係做 tech 啦，又係 invest crypto 啦，跟住我係屬火，仲要我個名係安以麗，有個麗字嘅。咁咧，我就想話咧，真係好得意呢個命運咧嚇，就其實係無端端推咗我翻嚟 Vancouver 嘅。咁我20年前咧，又無端端喺美國咧。 呢個2002年啦，2000年未科網爆煲嘅，就我由美國推咗翻香港嘅。咁我而家咧今年咧就又無端端嚟咗溫哥華啦，因為我其實咧係1月份新年嗰陣時咧係過嚟諗住探親嘅啫喎。我原本諗住探我爹哋媽咪啦，咁啊點知咧就突然間就疫症爆發啦。咁咧咁就爆到而家都未完，咁咧咁於是我就即係喺嗰度繼續 run 我 business 啦。咁同埋其實我而家就決定咧就唔走添啦，即係就決定留喺度啦。咁期間咧我就因為發現到，咦原來咧呢度有一個 startup visa program 喎。咁咧就想介紹翻俾我哋香港啲朋友啦，因為我都知近期好熱門話題。咁好多人都揾緊方案點樣做，咁啊 Steven 咧嚟緊都會過嚟溫哥華嘅，即係成家人都會過嚟溫哥華嘅，係啦。咁我哋就會有好多香港嘅朋友其實已經係溫哥華噶啦 ，OK， OK， 咁咧就先啦，下一個 slide 啦。OK， 咁我想講一講咧點解加拿大先啦，好冇？其實咧你會睇到全球最livable 嘅 city 咧，其實加拿大咧係第5、6同埋第7位嘅 ，OK 嚇。當然有澳洲啦 ，OK。咁但係咧，嗱你睇下呢度全球最 livable city 係1、2、3、4、5，呢個係2019年喎。咁加拿大咧都佔頭嗰10位嘅3席咯 ，OK。即係 in terms of stability 啦、healthcare 啦、cultural environment 啦、education 同 infrastructure。咁咧嗱，我而家就喺溫哥華啦。咁咧我就最近咧就同老豆傾啊，點解你咁醒移民出去加拿大咧？咁我父母咧30年前移民咗嚟加拿大，1991年嗰陣啦，1990年啦。咁啊，因為97啦，係咪？咁咧就頭先我都見到有好多朋友就問啊，究竟應該移民去邊度咧？咁我就問我老豆，點解你嗰時揀加拿大咧？咁佢又俾我答案咧。我覺得都幾 make sense 嘅。佢話第一，如果你移民咧，你要揾一個國家你語言通先得㗎。咁啊一定係英文國家㗎啦，係咪？咁啊英文國家喺邊度咧？咁你係加拿大、澳洲、英國，咁啊都差唔多揀晒，係咪？咁咧加拿大咧係有3700萬人 ，OK， 全加拿大啊。咁呢度溫哥華咧其實得嗰200萬人嘅啫 ，OK。咁我哋大家都知最近英國話收300萬香港人啊嘛 ，BNO 係咪？咁我想話咧，如果你嚟加拿大呢度咧，係即係加埋晒都係得個200萬人，而華人咧係有呢個50萬人嘅喎，所以喺呢度咧係每4個人咧有1個人係華人嚟嘅 ，OK？ 咁咧其實我就覺得溫哥華咧都真係好似香港嘅，其實你個 transition 係非常容易咯，因為老實講，我嚟咗6個月咧，其實都差唔多唔使講英文嘅，因為你去到各大商場、商店，你周邊嘅人咧有好多都識講廣東話同普通話嘅 ，OK。好啦，咁咧大家有冇聽過 Vancouver 係似 Vancouver， 叫 Vancouver，OK？因為真係實在太多香港人喺呢度啦。咁我如果有啲朋友未嚟過 Vancouver 嘅話咧，我想俾你睇睇係咩樣啦 ，OK？當然呢個 Startup Visa Program 咧就唔係淨係 for Vancouver 嘅，即係你都可以去加拿大唔同地方啦，即係包括多倫多啊，呢個Montreal 啊，或者 Calgary 嗰啲地方啦。但係我覺得Vancouver 對於香港人嚟講咧係好適合嘅咯，因為實在太似啦。OK， 第一咧呢個 Vancouver 嘅樣啦。同埋大家知唔知咧？其實李嘉誠咧就喺呢度 Pacific Concord 咧，呢個全部都係佢嘅，沿岸地區全部都係李嘉誠嘅樓嚟嘅。咁你會發現其實呢度嘅樓嘅起法咧都好似香港人嘅口味嘅咯。OK，咁呢度鳥語花香啦。仲要咧，你知道香港人好中意去日本噶嘛？咁其實呢度咧，因為2戰嗰陣時咧，其實就日本咧就俾咗好多櫻花俾呢度加拿大喎，所以咧呢度其實4月份咧係真係好靚。呢個係其實我4月嗰陣時影嘅，我已經嚟咗差唔多7個月啦，我1月14號過嚟嘅。OK， 咁係成地好似結婚咁樣。咁喺呢度真係好多人都住屋啦，咁樣咁如果你話樓價嚟講咧，其實就係當然冇香港咁貴啦。OK， 即係呢度都算越嚟越貴㗎啦。但係如果你喺香港買得起樓嘅話咧，喺呢度係冇問題咯。即係呢度你可以買多2、3間都得。啊，仲有咧，我呢度想俾下大家睇一啲人情味啦。即係你可以行下路邊咧，係會有啲人整咗呢個寫 stay safe 添，因為最近疫症啊嘛。OK， 咁講呢個樓價咧，嗱，如果你講租嘅話咧，頭先阿 Stephen 咪話呢個北面對海啊嘛，係嘛？南面對係咪山啊？咁呢個就係溫哥華啦。OK， 咁你睇下呢度可能最旺嘅地區咧，呢個係加幣 OK， 即係最旺嘅地區係2800加幣一個月嘅租金。或者2000蚊加幣係大概12000港幣度嘅。咁你諗下，你喺香港12000港幣租到啲咩咧？因為劏房都要8000蚊啦，係咪？我係講緊 2 bedroom 啊呢度。OK， 咁呢度就係列治文啦 ，Richmond 啦，咁呢度好多中國人喺度嘅。基本上其實成個溫哥華咧都好多中國人嘅。跟住呢個就機場啦 ，OK。咁呢度咧有個網站，我覺得係好 useful 嘅，就叫 Numbeo 啦。咁咧呢個 cost 佢咧係可以俾你 compare 晒所有 cost of living 嘅喎。即係譬如你喺溫哥華同香港食同樣嘢，即係譬如 inexpensive restaurant 差幾遠啦。OK， 咁我哋大家睇下咯喎。香港嘅樓價咧係比呢個 rental prices 咧係比香港高大概差唔多60% 嘅 OK， 咁呢個唯一貴過香港嘅咧係你出街食飯咯 OK， 咁但係如果你過到嚟咧，好多人都會喺屋企煮飯嘅，因為呢度嘅屋又大啲啦，跟住即係大家個 priority 會唔同啦，因為香港屋企細啊嘛，所以逼咗大家出去成日食飯咁樣啦。咁你呢度咧可以見到譬如 buy apartment price 啦 ，OK， 咁呢個 per square meter apartment in city centre 溫哥華咧就係12000幾啦 ，OK， 香港咧其實係多200倍嘅 ，OK， 咁如果 salary 嘅話咧，你睇下其實係差唔多喎 ，OK。咁即係話喺呢度咧，其實係會住得舒服啲咯，因為你喺香港嘅租金實在太貴啦。OK， 咁呢啲係真相嚟嘅，因為我其實1月嗰陣時我睇緊樓嘅喺呢度，即係未爆疫情之前咧。咁呢度其實喺 Burnaby 啦，咁我睇緊，咁你見到啲裝修都好似香港人啲 taste 咯。係嘛？因為其實有啲係香港發展商嚟嘅。咁呢個係個即係下面嗰啲common area 啦。咁仲講下教育啦。OK，我知道有好多朋友啦想過嚟，即係想移民咧，都係因為仔女啦，係咪？呢間咧就係好近我屋企嘅，叫 Point Grey 係 public school 嚟嘅。咁呢度 public school 咧其實係免費教育嘅咯，即係 free 嘅咯。即係俾好少錢嘅咋。呢個係大學啦 ，OK， 咁我兩個細佬都係呢間sorry 呢個係中學嚟嘅，我兩個細佬都係呢間中學畢業嘅咯，咁你見到即係個環境係非常之好啦。呢度有個叫 Centre of Digital Media 呢個 Master Program， 咁你會見到我想分享一下，其實呢度咧係 culturally 係好 mix 嘅。都好似香港，亦都好多中國人啦，所以你見到佢哋啲廣告咧都要擺唔同國籍嘅人嘅。咁呢度又有好多唔同嘅，即加拿大本地人啦，或者歐洲嘅人啦，有呢個嘅Iranian 啦，或者印度人都好多嘅。咁我就講呢個衣食住行啦，係咪？咁食方面咧，其實大家真係唔需要擔心，因為呢度真係好鬼似香港嘅。呢個中國人冇人唔識呢個大統華㗎啦 ，OK， 就會呢度所有嘅中國嘅食材都有嘅 ，OK。同埋你入去咧，根本係全部黑頭髮㗎喎。咁唯一唔同咧，就係我覺得呢度係一定即係最好就揸車啦。當然搭巴士都冇問題嘅，不過等得耐啲啫。咁你唔想買車，仲有 car sharing 添。呢個叫 modal car sharing 啦。OK， in terms of 其實媒體咧，大家知唔知阿李婉華其實都喺呢度嘅？呢度有香港有好多明星咧。in fact 我嗰日咧去飲茶就見到阿大班同埋李婉華喺度飲茶啦。咁可能喺呢度見到香港明星仲多過喺香港嘅咯。咁佢就最近咧就有個頻道啦，叫做住家女人，即係住係住住家，即係住加拿大咁解，住家女人啦。咁有個住家男人嘅，咁佢就都成日會講好多關於移民或者回流翻嚟嘅情況嘅。咁我就想講喺呢邊咧，其實係可以睇到香港電視啦，睇到呢個有兩個中文媒體電台啦，同埋電視台嘅。咁因為呢度實在太多中國人咯。OK。好啦，咁啊，俾咗一個 overview 啦，咁啊，可能大家我都未真係就係介紹自己，可能大家會話，咦，Elaine點解你走咗去做移民咧？咁啊，其實唔係真係做移民嘅，係因為咧嗱，首先咧，我就唔係 immigration lawyer 啦，但係我而家有個團隊咧，就可以幫大家做到移民呢樣嘢喎。OK，咁點解我會 involve 咧？因為咧，我喺呢20年咧，我同好多 tech 公司做嘢嘅，我間公司叫 ceded Innovation 啦。咁即係有頭先阿 Steven 都講過啦 ，Google、Airbnb、Dropbox 呢啲公司啊 ，hardware、software 都有啊。我亦都咧 train up 過好多 startup 嘅 ，OK，喺唔同嘅 accelerator、incubator 嗰度啦。咁咧，因為呢個 startup visa program 係個 startup 噶嘛 ，right？ 咁所以咧就我哋而家就有個團隊咧去幫一啲希望想過嚟加拿大移民，同埋想 start 一個 innovative business 嘅人，咁佢哋就可以帶佢哋嘅家庭過嚟咯。OK， 咁我就 set up 咗一個新嘅 business 啦，叫 CXO Advisory， 就即係 Chief Experience Officer 啦，就幫一啲 tech startup 去 accelerate 佢哋嘅 startup 嘅。OK， 咁我之後咧就會再講多啲 detail 關於呢個 startup visa program 啦。OK， 咁首先咧就想又係 debunk 啲 myths 啦。OK。咁想問下大家有冇覺得移民好遙遠、好困難喎？係咪要幾百萬先移民到㗎？大家可唔可以喺個 box 度打一打？有冇呢個感覺啊？係咪覺得移民好難咧 ？OK， 我睇下有冇先。係咪好似好遙遠咁啊？係嘛？OK， 我想話俾你聽咧，其實你唔需要幾百萬移民嘅咯。原來我都翻咗呢件事。其實如果你香港有樓嘅話咧，你基本上係即係你去深水埗都要幾百萬一層樓啦，係咪？咁我諗你有100-200萬可能都可以，真係好好噶啦，已經甚至乎有100萬都冇問題噶啦。OK。咁因為我想講呢個 startup visa program 咧，佢就專係俾你睇下呢個，你可以去呢個網站，我遲啲唔介意 share 呢個 PowerPoint 俾你哋啊。How to immigrate to Canada by starting a business and creating jobs or support innovative entrepreneurs。咁即係咧，你係可以咧過嚟創業啦，但係咧喺個 startup 個 structure 裏邊咧，有啲人可以出多啲力，有啲人可以出多啲錢。OK， 咁我同埋咧，佢呢個最正咧就係可以 work in Canada while you wait 咯 ，for 呢個嘅 PR 咯 ，OK， 即係 permanent residence 啦。咁呢個網站就會解釋咧，你邊啲人 qualify 啦，同埋咧你係需要有一個加拿大嘅 investment 團隊去 investor 去 invest 我哋個 startup 度嘅。但係都唔使擔心，因為我哋 partner 咧係有人已經 tap into 個 investment network 咧，係可以幫你揾到 investor 嘅。OK， 咁我講嗰個 structure 係點樣啦，即係 set up 一個 startup。OK， 咁呢個咧就係當你想創業啦，咁你就會過嚟啦。咁你可以選擇做一個 founder 或者一個 sponsor。咁啊分別係咩咧？就係如果你冇咁多錢嘅，咁但係你想出多啲力嘅，同埋你想去 drive 呢間公司咧，我哋呢啲就叫 founder。咁最好就有2個 founder 啦。OK， 咁如果你係有個朋友識嘅，或者兄弟姊妹識嘅，或者冇人啦，我哋都可以介紹人俾你識嘅。即係如果你個理念 for 呢個 startup 係相似嘅話，咁呢個咧就大概係5萬港幣，加幣一個 family 啦。 因為個 founder 過嚟咧，佢可以帶埋佢屋企人過嚟嘅，包括呢個 husband or wife 啦，即係老公或者老婆啦，同埋仔女嘅。OK， 父母就唔計住嘅。OK， 咁咧，如果係 sponsor 嘅話咧，呢個角色嘅話咧，就係你係想出多啲錢，出少啲力。嗱，唔係唔做嘢，但係咧個比例上咧，你係可以即係冇個 founder 即係出咁多力咯。OK， 咁樣咧，譬如話嗱，我知香港有好多人係 banker 啦。OK， 咁可能你過嚟咧，你可以 start 一個 fintech startup。OK， 嗱，咁你冇 technology background 都唔緊要喎，因為咧我哋呢個團隊咧有個 CTO advisor， 即係 Chief Technologist Advisor 啦。同埋咧，我咧就會做呢個 Chief Experience Officer 嘅，即係同你顧呢個 user experience 嗰邊嘅嘢嘅，咁會去幫你哋。咁咧有咩 criteria 咧移民過嚟咧？咁呢個加拿大政府咧就有幾個 criteria 啦。第一，你個 startup 係要係創新㗎啦 ，innovative 啦。which 我覺得咧其實 it's probably a right time for people to do this， 因為咧大家我諗呢7個月都體驗過。其實你而家嘅 business 咧，如果唔係創新或者係網上嘅話咧，如果你仲係retail offline 嘅話咧，其實都好難生存㗎啦。喺呢個疫症期間啦，係咪？咁你可以諗下點樣用你嘅本身嘅 domain expertise 啦，去變成一個創新嘅 startup 咯。咁去 leverage technology 咯。Oops， sorry， 翻返去之前先。OK。咁啊，第二咧就你要英文冇問題啦。咁我諗大家嚟得到今日聽呢個講座嘅都應該英文冇問題。咁就要考一個試嘅 ，OK？ 你要 healthy 啦，即係唔係殘疾啦 ，OK？ 即係唔係有好大病咁樣啦。咁就會有 health check 嘅。跟住 no criminal record 啦。咁我諗正常嘅人都應該冇，即係正常人呢三個 criteria 都應該係好容易去 fulfill 噶啦。咁跟住你要帶夠錢落嚟 settle 頭一年啦，起碼加拿大政府個 requirement 咧係好低嘅啫，就係 minimum 呢個加幣2萬人 ，OK？ 咁當然睇下你個 lifestyle 啦，即係如果你係使錢多嘅，咁你要帶多啲嚟咯，係咪？跟住咧就要個 letter of support from Canadian investors。咁頭先我都講咗啦，我哋呢個團隊咧已經 tap in 咗個Canadian investor 嘅 network， 有成20-30間嘅公司咧嘅 investors 咧，我哋係可以 tap into 去sponsor， 即係去 invest 落呢個 startup 度嘅咯。OK。咁樣咧就想講一講咧呢個嘅究竟呢個230K 嘅加幣咧，其實就等於大概香港130萬度啦，係咪港幣？咁呢個5萬人咧，一個 family 咧就大概係30萬港紙咯。OK， 咁即係話你係帶頭嚟，跟住你啲 family member 都可以過埋嚟㗎。OK。咁如果再詳細少少咧，就我哋之後可以我有個 form 俾你哋填咗之後咧，我哋嘅團隊會解答你哋更多嘅問題，亦都可以有移民律師去解答咯。第二個 myth 就係 I don't know what to do in Canada。OK， 因為有啲人咧就可能移民過嚟，咁跟住使唔使轉行啊？即係如果以前喺香港做開 banking 嘅，咁喺度有冇同樣嘅待遇咧？咁所以咧點解咧就有呢個 Star Visa Program， 你咧就可以創業啦。咁就咁所以係自僱嘅話咧，咁你就唔使擔心啦嚇。同埋我想話俾你聽咧，其實而家尤其是溫哥華咧，如果你3年前叫我搬翻過嚟咧，我都未必制嘅，因為我有25年咧，係每年都過嚟溫哥華2個禮拜，因為我父母喺度嘛，所以我係做咗長期嘅 tourist 嘅喺溫哥華，直至到今年而家就嚟咗7個月啦。跟住我就發現咧，呢2年係變化得好大。而家有好多 Silicon Valley 嘅公司咧係搬緊過嚟溫哥華嘅，咁呢個已經係上年嘅 news 喺屋企。同埋咁其中嘅原因係點解咧？我覺得係因為阿 Trump 啊。Okay. 因為 Trump 對美國嘅移民政策而家收緊咗好多啦，所以搞到啲 tech 公司咧就要請外國嘅人咧，即係譬如你印度人、中國人啊、以色列、Iran 嗰啲咧，咁佢唯有係 move 過嚟 加拿大，尤其是溫哥華，點解咧？因為我哋加拿大呢邊嘅living standard 咧係低啲啦，冇美國咁貴啦，即係冇 Silicon Valley 咁貴啦。咁人才又好多啦，譬如呢度好多間大學嘅，有 UBC 啊、Simon Fraser 啊、BCIT 啊咁樣。咁所以阿 Duolingo CEO 都話，如果喺美國嗰個 policy 仲唔轉嘅話咧，啲人才會走晒過嚟加拿大。OK，oops，咁咧呢啲公司全部都喺溫哥華㗎啦，已經包括 Apple 有 office。In fact 咧，我1月嗰陣時咧去睇樓喺 downtown 咧，個經紀都指俾我睇，嗱呢度就係 Microsoft Office， 呢度就係 Amazon Office 啦，跟住咧呢度咧就係租俾呢啲high tech 嘅員工住㗎啦 ，OK， 即係好多 single high tech 員工咁樣啦。包括 Facebook 啦、Samsung 啦、Hootsuite 啦 ，Hootsuite 同 Slack 咧係呢度本地2間自己創嘅startup 公司，而家都已經全球好多做 social media 嘅人應該知 Hootsuite 啦。咁 Slack 咧好多呢個 tech 嘅團隊都會用㗎啦 ，OK， 仲有 Shopify 啦同埋 Tao 都喺度嘅。嗱，咁呢啲就啲工嚟嘅喎，喺 at least 喺我個行業啦 ，OK， 譬如 Apple 喺度請緊 product designer 啦 ，OK， 跟住仲有呢個嘅 Amazon 請緊 user experience designer 啦，係咪？Hootsuite 請緊 senior UX designer 啦 ，UX 係 user experience 咯 ，OK， 咁所以咧呢度嗰個，我覺得呢度嘅發展潛力係好大嘅，因為咧我哋下邊就係 Silicon Valley 咁如果你喺呢度 start up 咧，你可以 access 2大市場，一大市場就係美國市場啦，第2大市場就係亞洲咯。因為我哋溫哥華基本上係一個樞紐咁樣嘅，即係你係兩邊 language 都得啦，同埋兩邊 market 都得嘅。咁你呢度又會好容易揾到人才啦，因為下面美國嗰邊都會好多人才可以俾你吸咗上嚟喎。因為呢度個居住環境都幾舒服嘅，其實。OK。第3咧就係、大家可能會擔心啊，喂，我未 start 個公司喎，咁點算咧？嗱，我覺得呢個 Star Visa Program 係好啱一啲咧，可能打咗工起碼6至10年啦，都有一定嘅工作經驗，但係咧就之前都有諗過創下業嘅，但係又唔知點做喎。咁我想話俾你聽，呢個 Star Visa Program 其實都真係一個好正嘅 program。點解咧？因為你諗下，你自己 start up 咧。你自己都要去揾 investor 啦，係咪？揾錢去 start 啦。但係呢個 program 首先我哋已經有 network to 啲 investor 啦。第二咧，嗰幾個 sponsor 咧，即係每一間 startup 可以有 up to 3個 sponsor 啊嘛。咁每個 sponsor 俾230K 加幣啊嘛，加埋有60幾70K 加幣去俾你 start up 喎。OK， 即係你唔係自己揞晒荷包喎。你諗下，你喺香港，你去揾呢個 Science Park、揾 Cyberport， 最多頂籠咪俾你即係3萬港幣，係咪？即係呢度係多10倍嘅錢俾你去 start up 咯。仲要咧，呢個 Star Visa Program 咧，第一唔需要你 guarantee 呢個 start 會成功㗎 ，OK？ 因為我諗加拿大政府嘅立場係咧，佢最主要係想吸引人才同埋錢過嚟啦。咁你個人過咗嚟嘅話，其實就算你呢個 start fail 咗咧，你咪再揾個第2份工咯，或者你唔中意呢個 start， 你又可以再去start 我個另外一個 business 咯。OK， 咁咧我個團隊咧就係E11 Ventures 啦。咁咧呢個係我個 partner 咧叫Edward。咁佢今日都應該好似喺度嘅，我想睇下佢可唔可以露下面啊。咁樣咧佢就幫一啲 startup 係嚟加拿大嘅。OK， 咁我哋就係 partners 啦。咁我講解下嗰個 process 先。OK， 呢個係一個簡單化嘅 process 啦。咁首先咧，第1橛咧就係你而家喺呢度 start 啦，就係一個 immigration application 嚟嘅。咁你首先就需要有個 business idea， 有個 proposal。咁當然包括譬如 pitch deck 唔一定要有 demo， 不過有 demo 梗係好啲啦，係咪？咁你就要 pitch 呢度嘅 investor 咯。OK。咁當然你要組咗個團隊啦，咁我哋個 team 就會幫你組團隊嘅 ，OK， 即係可能你如果一個人你又唔夠 founder 或者唔夠 sponsor， 我哋會幫你組團隊嘅，咁嗱呢度咧需要幾耐咧就 depends on 你想幾快啦，即係你可以 take 幾個月或者好快1個月搞掂都得 OK， 咁睇下你有幾急想過嚟呢度咯。跟住咧，你搞掂咗 pitch 咗個 investor， 加拿大 investor 覺得誒掂喎你個 business， 跟住咧你就可以攞個 letter of support from 呢啲 angel investor 或者 VC 啦。咁佢覺得之後咧，應該2個禮拜就攞到㗎啦。跟住咧，成個 team 即係呢個 startup 咧就可以 submit 個 application 去呢個加拿大呢個政府嗰度啦，即係呢個 immigration 嗰度啦。咁咧其實就已經可以開始計呢個15 to 18 months for immigration processing 㗎啦。如果你喺 Startup Visa Program 網站咧，佢係寫12至16個月嘅。咁但係當然而家有疫症啦，所以我哋係寫鬆少少㗎。OK。嗱咁樣咧就 submit 咗之後咧，你有一個 option 咧就係你等15至18個月先過嚟咯。OK， 即係如果佢批你嘅話，就先過嚟咯。咁但係如果有啲人急嘅話，想即刻過嚟咧，佢有另外一個method 咧，就係你可以 submit 咗 application 之後，已經可以即刻申請個 work visa 㗎啦。咁如果佢批咗你之後咧，你已經可以帶你屋企人啦 ，move with family to Canada while you wait for the PR。咁你喺加拿大 move 咗過嚟之後咧，你就已經可以 work on your startup 㗎啦。或者你可以喺香港一路 work on your startup， 譬如 part time 咁樣一路做住 full time， 夜晚或者 weekend 做你個 startup 咯。咁跟住就等攞呢個通知，即係你合唔合資格，跟住可唔可以 land 啦，跟住再攞 PR， 跟住再攞 citizenship 啦之後 ，OK。咁前邊呢橛咧，我哋就 estimate， 即係其實你快嘅可以3至6個月都得㗎，睇下你呢度做得幾快咯。咁如果你話喂，我已經有個 business 咯，我已經有個團隊咯，咁你可能可以好快㗎咯。咁如果冇嘅話咧，我哋就可以幫你去其實 business proposal 啊，我哋都可以幫你嘅。咁甚至乎你直頭冇 business idea 咧，其實我公司咧就係幫你哋諗埋個 business idea 添嘅 ，based on 你哋嗰個 background。OK， 咁我哋呢個團隊咧就有actually 咧，我有另外一位朋友咧叫 Derek 啦，佢都係我哋part of 我哋嘅 team 啦。佢係前香港加拿大領事館嘅頭嚟嘅 ，OK， 咁佢而家就喺香港嘅。咁你有咩問題咧，就可以喺香港面對面問清楚佢關於移民加拿大呢樣嘢啦。OK， 咁我哋呢邊咧都有喺加拿大咧都有啲 license 嘅 immigration lawyer 啦，嚇你哋可以問佢哋嘢啦。咁佢就會幫手 process 呢個 immigration papers 啦。咁Edward 啦，我 partner 咧，佢就會幫手去揾 investor 同埋俾 tech advisory 啦。咁即係可能如果譬如你完全唔識 tech，或者即係冇呢個 programmer 啊 technologist 咧，咁佢可以幫手揾。咁我呢邊咧就係 CXO advisor 咧，就會咧可以幫你諗埋個 business concept， 甚至乎我哋已經有啲 concept 係已經做緊嘅，因為過咗嚟7個月，我已經做緊2間 startup 㗎啦呢度。同埋咧，啲 user experience 嘅 talent 啦，即係 design talent 咧，我哋都會培訓咗，跟住係可以幫你哋公司做啊。OK， 咁啊呢個就 Edward 啦，我啦，呢個 Derek 就喺香港嘅。我想問下阿 Edward 同 Derek 喺咪度啊 ？Oops。OK， 有 questions。Does it work for Chinese national？ 得嘅。中國即係大陸嘅都得嘅。其實佢冇話淨係俾香港，其實全世界嘅人都得嘅。OK。係 Derek， 不如你露面啦。Derek, do you want to say a few words? Derek, you want to? He can, okay. Anyway, so Derek Lee 咧就喺呢度嘅。咁咧，如果你哋有咩問題關於移民嘅話咧，佢係好 qualify 咯 ，OK？ 同埋你都唔需要驚俾人呃，因為佢其實係做領事館嘅之前，即係 Canadian Council。咁你就可以我 share 翻我哋啲 contact 俾你啦 ，OK？Wait， it's here。OK， 咁呢個 Derek 認住 Derek 嘅樣啦。咁咧就 你可以你可以填咗我哋個 startup assessment form 先啦，咁跟住我哋就會 pass 俾 Derek 啦 ，Derek 就可以喺香港咧解答你啲問題嘅。咁如果你關於raise funding 啊個startup 應該係啲乜嘢啊，就可以問我同埋 Edward 咯。Edward 喺咪度啊？ OK， 唔緊要啦，橫掂你都見到佢。OK， 好。OK， 咁 lastly 咧，你哋就不如可以scan 呢個嘅 startup assessment form 啦。Oops， sorry，KC。呢個就係 Edward 嘅 email 啦 edward.chu@e11ventures.ca。咁你 scan 咗呢個 QR code 之後咧，就會咧去到呢個呢個 form 嘅。OK。咁因為我哋都想知下你個 background 啊，你究竟想幾多人？因為其實嗰個價錢我哋頭先俾你係一個 approximate 嚟嘅啫。因為如果你屋企有6個人咧，咁就唔同㗎啦。OK， 即係會高啲啦。咁啊，你個 background 啦，呢個就係英文考試嗰個 result 啦。有幾多年 working experience 啊？有冇做過 entrepreneur 啊？咩 background 咁樣？你想 full time、hard time 定係 advisory 去 run 個 startup 咧？咁樣嘅 OK。嗱，咁呢個咧就係嗰個 Star Visa Program 嗰個 website 啦，你可以打 Star Visa Program Canada， 咁你就揾到噶啦。OK， 咁跟住係啦，呢個就係我哋新嘅網站叫 cxo.kaiser.com 啦，咁你就會見到我哋即係一彈出嚟就會有 Star Visa Program， 咁你可以 click to learn more 咧，就睇到呢度就去咗加拿大嗰個 immigration site 同埋呢個 Start Investment Form 啦。係啦 ，E11 Ventures 就係呢個啦，咁我哋就係 E11 Ventures 嘅 partner 嚟嘅 ，OK。So that's it。有冇咩問題 ？Any questions？ OK。How we talk to Derek？ 係啦。你咧就首先填咗個 form， 其實嗰度咧都有我個有呢個 cxo@kaiser.com 啦，咁你可以揾我啦，或者你填咗個 form 之後咧，就我哋會揾你噶啦嚇。呢個 form 呢度係啦，呢個 email 啦，咁你填咗之後咧，我哋會揾你噶咯，好冇 ？OK，thank you。Any more questions？ Okay, let me send you the form again. Your startup assessment form. Okay. All right. Thank you. 咁咧就最後咧 so the last thing is that 係啦咁啊多謝大家今次嚟聽我哋呢個第一次搞嘅 Tony Robbins Group 嘅呢個 virtual web summit 啦。咁如果你有興趣做 speaker 嘅話咧，我哋 Tony Robbins Group 嘅人咧就可以即係聯絡我哋，咁可以下一次咧你哋做 speaker 嘅，咁或者你哋有咩意見想聽啲咩咧都可以話俾我哋聽咯。OK， how many people are at the webinar tonight？ Third， 高峰期有42，而家30度啦。Yeah。Okay, thanks a lot. Anybody wants to say anything else?
I want to thank Kevin Lee for helping us behind the scene to arrange this wonderful virtual summit. Let's give Kevin Lee a hand.
Kevin,
you should show your face. He's too shy. Okay.
I guess we want to encourage other people to speak so we can get this community going. So we are the first 4 speakers to take the initiative, but I want to, see more people, joining our community in the future.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for being with us.
Good night.
thanks
Good
everyone.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.